My experience, so I did try a raw carnivore diet for about several weeks, and I didn't get sick, but I certainly felt quite limited and bored. I didn't enjoy the taste of it. It was a chore to eat. I didn't look forward to the food. So I can see where you could potentially lose weight on that, but I don't want to eat a diet that I don't enjoy. So, and I think none of you guys should either. So if you like it, go for it. Just be very careful with your sourcing. And there you go. So that's kind of the basics for Raw Meat 101. Let me know which raw meat dishes you have tried in the past, or if you are willing to try it or not willing to try it, why and why so. Like, subscribe, and eat some more meat, guys. Dr. Baker, we'll talk to you soon.
Go test this.
Would you eat raw beef? Eating raw beef is popular in lots of different countries around the world, but I wanted to add a bit of a Pakistani twist. It starts with a really lean cut of beef with no fat on it. This is a sirloin tip, and I'll thinly slice it and then dice it. Ginger, turmeric, and garlic paste, shallots, pickles, capers, cilantro, chili powder, ground cumin and coriander, Dijon mustard, some flaky salt, a really lean cut of beef, your favorite olive oil, and hot sauce, an egg yolk, and you can't forget about the Thai chili pepper. And now just mix everything together. And I think typically you would eat this with bread or some sort of toast, but I do want to try it just on its own and see what it tastes like. It's a bit spicy. So many different flavors going on. Oh my god. I taste almost everything, which is amazing. Because sometimes when you cook it, a lot of the times maybe it gets cooked away, like that flavor just almost gets masked with another flavor. But everything in its raw form, it's so pungent, and it just punches you in your taste buds. I get that mustard, I get those capers, I get the chili powder, the flakes, the cumin. I just hope I don't get sick. It wasn't
fresh raw blood. It's very good, so.
Oh yeah, I've heard the same.
Yeah.
So I feel like it doesn't really count, to be honest. But
Indeed, yeah. Frankie's is pretty nasty. You know what, Frankie? I hope you get support to fix your eyes, but not gonna be from selling your blood, for me at least. Yeah. So, yeah, sorry, I think I already asked this, but like, so did you feel any shift from going animal-based to like the raw, or were you minimal?
It's really kind of hard for me to say, but I definitely noticed. The reason why I agreed, like, with you so much on sugar, even though I still consume it, because when I went animal-based to carnivore, like, it was really hard, of course.
Yeah.
But I was so dependent on
Benefits of raw beef.
ones,
dudes.
they're fearless.
Oh man, and you never wanted
On
to.
neighborhood crib.
You never wanted to get into it with
But
somebody
if
when
you
they're
do,
Italian.
cuz, you do, hey, squabble hard on neighborhood crib.
Well, here's the
That's
thing, right?
the shit down on hood.
Here's the thing. You never wanted to get into it with them because their 14 cousins would jump in.
Oh, yeah, on neighborhood crib.
Am I right?
On neighborhood crib.
They always have a million cousins, and they all like to fight.
On neighborhood crib. On
Right.
neighborhood crib. Kind of like the county jail kill on hood.
There you go. Okay, so you're growing up, and you're in elementary school,
Ontario on hood.
but you used to always get in problems at school.
Oh, yeah, I was a snubble type of guy. I stayed in some shit.
Okay.
I did.
And your mom put you on Ritalin at one point?
Yes, she did. I'm mentally fucked up. Ritalin, ADHD type shit on neighborhood crib. Mama Bear took me 5 talking doctors and all the shit, and they were just like, man, we can't help them. We went to talking fucking doctors weekly. They couldn't find out what was really going on.
Well, you were diagnosed with oppositional defiance?
Schizophrenia, paranoia,
Huh.
and I'll call it, people say bipolar, it's like bipolar. I mean, it made you flip fast on hood.
Okay, and this was as a kid in elementary school?
A baby on hood, like 8, 10, cut on hood. Yeah, cut on hood.
So, you're going through this, and are you being taken out of, well, at one point your mom put you in military school, right?
Yeah, on us, this right after on neighborhood crib, Newman Elementary Kill was in the lower parts of Chino, Ontario. They closed because we lived in Ontario, but they had me a school called Newman as an elementary kid on neighborhood crib. And then when I was supposed to go 5, with my cousin on neighborhood crib, E.J. Marshall on neighborhood crib. That's another school class in Ontario. It's like a little junior high on neighborhood crib. Her met a great white man, great man, Mr. Gary on neighborhood crib.
That's when you moved to Texas, right?
On neighborhood crib.
Okay, so your mom got together with this guy named Mr. Gary.
Mr. Gary was a great guy.
But then in 2006, she caught him with somebody.
Well, he was getting fucked in the ass by a big white man the size of Crack Lefner. So Mama Bear was hurt. She was hurt.
So he was gay.
Well, he said he wasn't. Just said that.
Well, okay, when you get plowed by a dude, how you gonna talk your way out of that way? You can't have that one.
Good. He liked somebody he knew.
Okay.
You know, but it went all bad on neighborhood crib.
Okay, and you were 13 when this happened?
On neighborhood crib, almost 14. I stayed out there on neighborhood crib almost like 20 years, got 2.5 years on neighborhood crib.
So, did your mom explain to you what she saw, or did you actually see it yourself?
Mama Bear, she was shocked. You know, Mama Bear's a great woman. She works hard. Everything goes well with Mama Bear. Mama Bear's been hustling since I was a baby. Making dollars, doing waitress work and all the shit on neighborhood crib. She learned from Granny Bear and all the shit on neighborhood crib. You know, so she was hurt. It fucked her mind up. You know? And it's like, we can't even call her Mr. Gary no more. It's more like Custer Gary.
Okay, so then after catching her boyfriend with another dude, she sent you back to LA.
Yeah, it was pretty much, no, had a proposition like you do job corps on neighborhood crib, right? Where you make dollars, cuz. I'm like, cuz, I'm just gonna go cack out there on neighborhood crib. I went, yeah, Monty House on 45th and Western on Wood.
Right, that's MC's neighborhood?
No, the 45th and Western, the 40s, the 40s.
Oh, okay.
My hood, I just stay right there by the murder burger, I call it, the master burger on hood, right there.
Okay.
And my other auntie I had stayed in the Dorset Village, in the last apartments over there, that's 59th 8th Ave. Yeah, that's Nips area.
Got it.
You know?
Now, when you moved out there, were you part of a gang at all?
No, I was already trying to put shit in order. You fight me on neighborhood crib. I was banging rolling 60s.
Okay.
Once I came finally out there, I went on Brynhurst. And got put on rolling 60s on neighborhood crib. They gave me a name, I was under June Boy, neighborhood crib in Rollo. I was brain dead. I was tiny brain dead. On neighborhood crib, I loved it. Couldn't get enough of it. I loved it so much, I went out and snatched the old lady's purse, and I got the whole situation on neighborhood crib. You fight me? Oh, listen, I snatched one of their dead homies' mama's purse, and I disrespected one of they big homeboy boy CM's cut, and it was over. I went on 60 Trap at 8th Ave in the CACA, Pac-Man the gun spot on neighborhood crib. I couldn't handle all them squabbles on neighborhood crib. They kept coming from the fences from Crenshaw High School. Kept coming on neighborhood crib and outside. Goddamn, I got tired. I got tired on neighborhood crib. Joe Boy fired on me, I just knew it was over on neighborhood crib. I got put off over that. And I realized after that on neighborhood crib, I seen Joe Boy get cut on Western Slauson. On hood, was in his car. He said, don't worry about that. He said, you know what he told me? He said, cut, you still hood, nigga. It's just not gonna come and did how I did it and the people that was connected. You find me? When cut told me I'm still hood, I said, oh yeah, cut. I'm gonna get put on again, cut, on neighborhood crib. Now I'm over there on neighborhood crib. I mean chicken wing, on hood from 5-5, on hood. And I already knew Local C, cut. I go to 5-5 to get put on. On 5-5 crib. On hood, it's me and chicken wing. We on the stairs. By the curly case on neighborhood crib. T-Fly from 5-5, you know, see her on neighborhood crib. And C-Dub, the general. Big baby Western right there, cut his hey. Where you eat, brother? I tell him, I'm ready to bang a Local C nigga. I know cook. She come, baby crazy Local C on neighborhood crib. Then they ask her, check it out. Oh, okay, we already know, cook for the GP, on neighborhood crib, but you from where? All right, we got in the car on neighborhood crib. They find us around the corner. They're having a whole hood meeting out there. Baby Snaps and the general. Baby C-No's outside, nigga. It's put on time. They keep being homies. They put niggas on. I squabbled one of the homies cut and they put 10 niggas on. On 5-5 crib in the 55th Street Baby Snaps alley.
Right. You got jumped in by 10 people.
On neighborhood crib.
How long did you last?
I kept squabbling. It's like a win or lose situation. You're either going to fight or you're going to die. You're going to fight or you're going to die. They want to see where your heart is on neighborhood crib.
All right, so now you're officially 55th Street.
55th Street certified. Infalo General.
Well, now that you're officially part of that gang.
Oh, I love it. Can't get enough of it.
But now you have to take on. You have to take on whatever problems that gang has.
I love it. Can't get enough of it.
So at that time, so this was about 2012?
Neighborhood crib.
Right around 2012. Who did they have problems with at that time?
Well, it's always been the same. It's been the 5 ones, 5 doses, 6 doses, 5 bowls on neighborhood crib. We're surrounded by the Browns and the Hoops. We are surrounded on neighborhood crib. We're the smallest motherfucking hood right there. On hood. Because you're going to stand on this crib and you're going to get fucked from over here.
Well, I don't know if this is before or after you joined, but there were some kind of important incidents that happened during that time. So on July 4th, 2012, there was this op hunting incident where members of the 55th Street Crips, including 16-year-old Jeremy Stevenson, allegedly stormed a residence on 54th Street, territory linked to the Van Ness gangsters and closely allied with the Hoops.
No, a little later than that.
Okay. Then 2 years later, on July 14th, the retaliation turned deadly, where Demetrius Dobie, the fellow 55th Street Crips members, entered into Hoover territory near 54th Street, resulting in a fatal shooting, pretty severe charges up to 15 years of life.
No cuts. 9 years ago, like 2012, 2013 type shit on neighborhood crib.
Yeah, but you're now part of this tied into all these other beefs that are happening.
I stand on all this crib shit till they kill me or put me in the grave and give me the death penalty. On 5-5 crib.
Got it.
Oh,
well, a couple years later, 2014, you get arrested for transportation of a controlled substance.
How do you know?
I know.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
What was that about?
I was trying to get my dollars.
Okay.
How
much time did you get for that?
I think roughly what old hood. It wasn't much like a little less than 5 days, like probation type shit.
In and out. Okay.
Like y'all have no proof. I'm just there. You fight me?
Okay, so you end up going through that, but then a year later you get arrested for grand theft auto.
Goddamn.
Stole a car?
No, I was just trying to, Give me a car, give me a site. Don't need book crib. Just give me a car, just give me a site. You know, so I can get shit ordered. I could bubble some shit up and make some dollars. Some need book crib.
How'd they catch you?
Well, it was a script. We're not gonna mention his name. But that motherfucker stole my site. That motherfucker tried to steal my car. We're not gonna put her name out there on need book crib. Like, goddamn, you're a prick. You're telling on me, what part of cripping is this?
You guys did.
On need book crib.
Okay.
That's when I realized I was some real snubble.
How much time did you get for that?
Man, that right there, I went by on neighborhood crib. Let me see what year that was coming. 15, 14. I'm trying to.
That was 15.
On neighborhood crib, that I feel like 8 months on hood. I sat in the county jail the whole time though.
Okay. So
I'm
now,
in the fucking county jail.
so you do 8 months for that. And then 2 years later, you get arrested for second-degree armed robbery.
Ooh, yeah, I wasn't trying to rob nobody. I asked her, where you from, nigga? At this point, I looked at they don't bang. I'm like, all right, what you got in your pockets? It's late night on neighborhood crib. I'm thinking I'm gonna catch somebody slipping on neighborhood crib. Oh, you I'm gonna crack okay, I'm gonna get coming. On hood, like a come up dog, cut Nate Bud on hood.
Was entered 52 Hoover Territory near 54th Street, resulting in a fatal shooting. Bring severe charges up to 15 years of life.
No, cuts. Remember, 9 years ago, like 2012, 2013 type shit on neighborhood crib. You hear me?
Yeah, but you're now part of this tied into all these other beefs that are happening.
I stand on all this crip shit till they kill me or put me in the grave or give me a death penalty. On fight crip.
Got it.
On hood.
Well, a couple years later, 2014, you get arrested for transportation of a controlled substance.
Ooh, did I? How do you know?
I know.
Now, let me hide. Oh, sweet Jesus.
What was that about?
We're just trying to get my dollars.
Okay.
My dollars, kid. You know how to go.
How much time did you get for that?
I think roughly what on hood. You know, wasn't much like crip, a little less than 55 days, like probation type shit.
In and out. Okay.
All of us just like y'all have no proof. I'm just there. You fight me?
Okay, so you end up going through that, but then a year later, you get arrested for a grand theft auto.
Ooh, goddamn. Let me hide again.
Stole a car?
I was just trying to, give me a car and give me a site on neighborhood crib. Give me a car, give me a site. You know, so I can get shit ordered. I could bubble some shit up and make some dollars on neighborhood crib.
How'd they catch you?
Well, okay, it was a script. We're not gonna mention his name. That motherfucker stole my site. That motherfucker tried to steal my car. Cut pointed at me. We're not gonna put her name out there on neighborhood crib. Like, goddamn, cut. You're a prick. You're telling on me, cut. What part of cripping is this?
You got snitched on?
On neighborhood crib.
Oh, okay.
That's when I realized I was some real snubble.
How much time did you get for that?
Man, that right there, cut. I went for on neighborhood crib. Let me see what year that was coming. 15, 14. I'm trying to.
That was 15. Yeah.
On neighborhood crib, that cut. It was like 8 months on hood. I sat in the county jail the whole time though.
Okay. So now.
I'm in the fucking county jail.
So you do 8 months for that, and then 2 years later, you get arrested for second-degree armed robbery.
Ooh, yeah, I wasn't trying to rob nobody. I asked her, I said, "Kid, where you from, nigga?" At this point, I hooked her. She's like, "It don't bang." I'm like, "All right, kid, what you got in your pockets, It's a late night on neighborhood crib. I'm thinking I'm gonna catch somebody slipping on neighborhood crib. Oh, you I'm gonna crack okay, I'm gonna get coming." On hood, like a come up dog, cut Nate Bud on hood.
What happened?
Well, cut, told on me. So I was in jail. On hood.
How much they give you for that?
Oh, kid, I went,
Now you're repeat offender over and over again.
Prison, kid.
Oh, so now you went to state. Okay, no more county.
No, county jail, kid, fighting all shit on neighborhood crib. I fight with County Vermont from Brims, right? I'm just sitting in the holy tank over neighborhood crib. A little fat nigga, kid, a little fat nigga from Brims.
Acho que eu vou trouxe 치느라.
How part of this tied into all these other beefs that are happening?
I mean,
Other...
I stand on all this crip shit till they kill me or put me in the grave or give me the death penalty. I don't fight by crip.
Got it.
I don't look.
Well, a couple years later, 2014, you get arrested for transportation of a controlled substance.
Ooh, did how do you know?
I know.
You know, let me hide. Oh, sweet Jesus.
What was that about?
I'm just trying to get my dollars.
Okay.
My dollars, kid. You know how it go.
How much time did you get for that?
I think roughly what hood. You know, it wasn't much like
Slap 'em?
a little less than 55 days, like probation type shit.
In and out. Okay.
Let's just like y'all have no proof. I'm just there. You fight me?
Okay, so you end up going through that, but then a year later, you get arrested for a grand theft auto.
Ooh, goddamn.
Stole a car?
I was just trying to, give me a car and give me a site on neighborhood crib. Steal me a car, steal me a site. You know, so I can get shit ordered. I could bubble some shit up and make some dollars on neighborhood crib.
How'd they catch you?
Well, it was crib. We're not gonna mention his name. But that motherfucker stole my site. That motherfucker tried to steal my car. Cut pointed me, we're not gonna put that name out there on neighborhood crib. Like, goddamn, Cut, you're a prick. And you're telling on me, Cut. What part of cripping is this?
You got snitched on.
On neighborhood crib.
Oh, okay.
That's when I realized I was some real snubble.
How much time did you get for that?
Man, that right there, Cut, I went by on neighborhood crib. Let me see what year that would come. 15, 14. I'm trying to.
I was 15. Yeah.
On neighborhood crib, that Cut, I feel like 8 months. I don't know. I sat in the county jail the whole time, though.
Okay. So
I'm
now,
in the fucking county jail.
so you do 8 months for that. Then 2 years later, you get arrested for second-degree armed robbery.
Ooh, yeah, I wasn't trying to rob nobody. I asked her, I said, "Yo, where you from, nigga?" Yeah, this is the point I looked at. He's like, "It don't bang." I'm like, "All right, kid, what you got in your pockets, It's late night on neighborhood crib. I'm thinking I'm gonna catch somebody slipping on neighborhood crib. Oh, you gonna crack okay? I'm gonna get money." Like a come up dog, cut Nate Bud, I don't look.
What happened?
Well, cut, told him. So I was in jail.
How much they give you for that?
Oh, cut, I went, that was state prison,
Oh, so now you went to state. Okay, no more county.
No, county jail, cut, betting on shit on me, blue crip. I fight with tiny Vermont Rams, right? I'm just sitting in the holy tank, open neighborhood crib. Little fat nigga from Rams. Just fight, right? Cut fighting on neighborhood crib, man. And then Cut, he see me, I got that whole shit blown out on my hand, the brown shit. He see me. He said, he say, you gotta get out, neighborhood crib. Look, I put my head down, Cut, like a lot of niggas, and I swim. I swim back, I knocked Cut tooth out, trying to Vermont. On neighborhood crib, I can cut that hard with that right hand. Cut left the whole shit alone on neighborhood crib. But Cut squabbled all good. But
이 게임 망했대.
I let him grab his door. And then they fucked me over. I get fucked over.
How bad?
그래서 내가 못하는 건가?
My eyebrow has a permanent fracture right here. On neighborhood crib, a couple missing teeth on neighborhood crib. Man, my knuckles is just permanently scored. Like, look. Yeah, I stopped smoking Newport cigarettes after that kid. I knew my wind to continue to squabble up.
What do you think was the worst situation in state prison?
State prison, not so much. It's the LA County Jail.
Oh, that's worse?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Everybody from every year. You gonna laugh when you laugh, Cut. You gonna program how you program on neighborhood crib. That's how you gonna get in.
Right, 'cause they don't separate the gangs.
Where?
In county.
You go wherever you like.
Wherever.
So I end up landing in that type of shit.
Okay.
But be brave, shut up, be brave, from different legs. He was here in the brim door with me in 2019. On neighborhood crib, yeah.
Well, in 2018, your close friend, Tiny Hardhead, gets killed by the Hoovers.
Oh, man. Oh, that was a tragedy. I just got out of prison, Kyle. Talking with her every day on neighborhood crib.
For the next battle.
I just remember June on neighborhood crib, June 29th. I got that call. It hurt me. I came home June 16th. That shit hurt me. The most, you know.
Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss, man.
It happens. So
What exactly happened? Do you know the story behind it?
I just know it was tragic. It hurt me. Really hurt me really bad.
Yeah. Did the guys who did it, they get arrested?
I don't know. I just
No
know it
idea.
hurt me. Yeah, it hurt me.
Was that the first time you lost someone close to you?
No, I lost 50 bang. I lost Tyrone in 2016
Huh.
on Hood, December 10th. You know, they hit me and they went loose and cut 'cause I was with Cuz every day, him and Lady Ducky. Tell worry, I Lady Ducky will get 'cause that fucked me up.
Get ready for the next battle.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, this life comes with that, though.
Come with it.
Yeah. Well, the tattoos.
Round one.
Yeah.
At what point did you start getting the gang tattoos?
Well, want to do the shit on neighborhood crib? But you gotta have shit. When you have tattoo cut, you gotta have shit certified. As far as, you know, gang banging out there. Homewood, you can't just cut tattoo. If you got any type of tattoos, Kim, your homeboys will cut them out of you. If you're not really living this life. No, they'll cut them out. They'll carve these motherfuckers right out of you. Your homeboys real. Oh, it's real.
Well, the most prominent tattoo is Uber Killer on your forehead.
I'm representing proud as I can till I die.
Represented.
Oh,
Was there something that triggered that tattoo?
losing time already had the most.
So that right there, the tiny hardhead situation, killed by the Hoovers, that made you want to get the Uber Killer.
But man, just standing on it also, that's where we grew up. Yeah, that shit targeted me like hell. Like, oh, fuck these motherfuckers. No, play ball.
Well, I mean, people get a lot of tattoos, people get face tattoos, but when you put that on your forehead, you're advertising to the whole world who your enemies are.
You're advertising. Now how destruction.
The first day walking around with that tattoo, how was the reaction?
People were shocked. They couldn't suddenly push it. Then going in and out the county, kill, fighting, and all shit. Yeah, they realized, hey, this shit real. On neighborhood crib, I've been through a lot with it, on neighborhood crib. And also, when they going gets hard, and hard, and hard, and hard, and hard, and the job just can't get done on neighborhood crib. HK Destructions on wood. Just like that on wood.
Don't you have cousins that are Hoovers?
I do, Bogart from 107. My cousin Tony. On Hood from Hoover. Yeah, them my mama's cousins on Hood.
I mean, does Thanksgiving get a little awkward sometimes? If families in the same house.
Yeah, like they cool, five a minute, but then I keep Valerie like, don't even come to family reunion, nephew. They might trip.
They might trip. Okay. Well, there's other tattoos. There's HK on your left arm. That's the same thing?
That shit is chunky. That 5 shots, that puts them all to death.
Why the
5152 K.
5 shots because of 55th Street?
여기서 괴물 같아 얘.
Ready for the next battle.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Not like that.
Nope. Okay. So you got that. And then you got FIP.
Oh yeah, on neighborhood crib, FIP, 50 bang on neighborhood crib, Chinese seat all fly, that's a general right there. Chinese hard head, like a baby square boy. Baby square boy from 40s. Cuz just died in the takeover, cuz, but that was my luck, that was my point right there on neighborhood crib. If I ever stand on everything, if I could also on hood. But it's been tragic years, baby.
캐릭하는
Had me a
사람들
little twist, I don't know.
Well, then you got the bicycle
뭐냐.
tattoo on your left hand.
Right, they're blown all the way out. They're fucking up.
They had
No,
a side through
The
it.
tires are shot out.
That's a blood disc, basically.
Yeah, the brim. No, I mean, it's the brim. I mean, I don't even look at it. They look at it as all blood. Not all blood. It's the brim.
Okay.
Some bloods call themselves friends from other states. But now, let y'all know in other states, don't get y'all shit caught up in our shit, nigga. Y'all just download y'all bloods. I love y'all. Don't need but crip. It's my enemies. I don't need but crip. No.
Going back to jail with those tattoos, did that change things? Because you can't really just hang out in the background anymore.
No, cuz. It is what it is, cuz. Whatever y'all niggas want to do, I'm made but crip. I'm not going to stir shit down. Y'all beat me till I go by the hospital, or we're going to fight and we're going to go back and forth. I'm not going to stir shit down. On me but crip, I'm going to stand on everything, cuz, till I go in the grave on wood. Oh, when I mean it, I'll fight real.
Well, right around the same time
Yeah.
that you lost your, well,
He
about
was
a year after
a
losing your friend, Tiny Hardhead, Nipsey Hussle gets killed. Did you ever meet Nipsey?
I did, cuz. I used to work at the store with Sloss and Bruce, cuz. Black Tim and Nip used to make sure I was alright on me but crip.
no.
Right, because well, they're rolling 60s, so that's your friends basically?
Them my homeboys, kid. Like I said, I was from over there because I got put off. But I didn't get put off because I told on nobody. I ain't doing no weird shit, nothing, cuz. It's just the situation, how that shit went, cuz. You know, it was over with, how that shit went, cuz. And I respected it. You fight me? No need but crip.
When you hear that Nipsey gets killed, and then you find out that he was killed by another Rolling 60s member in front of Nipsey's own store, how did that affect you?
I just looked at it like it was jealousy, man.
Did you know Shitty Cuz at all?
Yeah, I knew Cuz.
Oh, you knew Shitty Cuz?
Yeah,
Okay.
Morset Village. I knew Cuz.
What was he like?
A playboy, you know, a chipper. Cuz really somebody over there, Cuz. I don't respect what Cuz did, Cuz. I don't want to speak highly on Cuz' name.
Okay, so two people you knew got into it, and Nipsey ended up dead.
マヨです。
You think it was jealousy?
I know it was jealousy.
Yeah. Sad situation, man. I've interviewed Nipsey before. We've had conversations. Just a good dude, man.
Man, Cuz, it'll help you and your family. Y'all don't have to neighborhood create this shit, Cuz. Look, Cuz was solid, though. That helped me with a lot.
What do you think about what led up to the whole shooting incident? Nipsey asked Shitty Cuz, you know, there's some snitching rumors and stuff like that.
I mean, first of all, Cuz, and I realized from that situation, you never put nobody on knee but crip on blast like that in front of people like that, Cuz.
Right.
You know, I learned from that situation. I just think it was jealousy, though, Cuz, and I hate that shit happening with jealousy.
Yeah, man, it was a sad
Jealousy,
day.
Cuz, friend.
I mean, living in LA and seeing that happen, that was just a sad, sad day in LA, man. And the funeral. But, you know, from that funeral, the Rolling 60s and the A-Trays actually marched together for the first time ever.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Man, that's what they wanted to do. I mean, they respected Nip, so that was
Okay, so then, right around 2021, that's when you started to go viral.
I've seen
The Channel 5 video went crazy. How did it feel to go viral at that point?
It just how shit going down. You gotta watch everything also now. You know, it's gonna build hate. You know, of course, enemies and people like that, but I let people know, girl. Every day I really go through this shit, girl. In jail, I really go through all this shit on me, good crypto. I'm not gonna come home and just fuck with anybody, you know.
Okay, but now,
What type of celebrity, you know?
all right, because now people looking at you, you don't know whether they got a problem with you or whether they just saw you from a video.
Yeah, fuck that. It's just a chance here.
How's that adjustment?
Well, I just have to put everything in order now. I just think I would think different shit. You know?
Well, people kind of took to you right away because the way you talk is a little bit different. And you have a lot of catchphrases.
I'm a real nippy nickel.
I'm going to go through some of them.
Okay. Like,
Custard, which
that's
is
a Buster with a C.
Buster with a C.
I'm a motherfucking crack.
Stacking increments.
That's the dollars, cuz. Shout out Little C-Man from 6-0. The general from 6-0, Little C-Man. Increments on look.
그랬어.
A cinch. On look, cinch. On look. Shout out Newport for rolling 60s. On look. That's the word cinch. On look.
So what does it mean otherwise?
It's a bitch
Well,
with a
bitch with a C. Okay, got it.
on look.
Big, beautiful booty.
Big booty, beautiful cinch. That's the cinch. You want to fuck her coochie. You want to fuck her asshole. You want to eat her coochie. You want to eat her asshole.
Okay.
On look. Have a real nifty night with her, cuz.
And then you got Nifty.
50 is the 50s. I don't look. You know, a lot of the 50s say nifty. I don't consider none of them niggas over here. Why do some why once ain't no type of nifty shit. It's the wrong 50s. That's us. We nifty. I don't look.
You would order the broken special.
The broke motherfucking special. Broke nigga special.
Ah.
Chicken.
In a cold Old English.
Ice cold.
You actually have an Old English here.
Yes.
Are you drinking on?
Ah, it's gone.
It's gone. Okay.
Final round.
Demolished.
Program time 5.
That's the workout. Shout out Big Falcon Face, Coach Warren. Like bye. Good workout.
You 5 me.
You feel me?
Okay, how that's feel me?
Best strength out
Okay.
there. On wood.
5 successful.
On wood. Successful. Cracking like a nifty mecha. On wood. 5 cents five. On wood.
55th Street.
That's the street.
Right.
Best street.
So self-explanatory. Western Wiggle. What's that?
Oh, man.
That's the Western Wiggle.
Yeah.
Everything gonna see all right.
That means you got to do hard times. Never give up, Cap.
Says everything.
Stay 5 cause 5 pronouncing it right.
It's like focus, but a 50 crip.
5 cause
I would say Vikings on wood.
party crips.
We don't do those.
No.
That's
Crips, yeah. Somebody they come around. Just
Okay.
they only come out to parties. They most likely how our hood is. They gonna squat, but then we can't take behavior.
Get ready for the
But
next
they don't try
battle.
to cut. They gonna disappear. They go. You'll never hear from them ever again in life.
How do you feel about, for example, when you got rappers, especially famous rappers or singers, that start claiming a gang after they become millionaires? Like a Chris Brown or a Lil Wayne or something like that.
I mean, cut. Chris Brown cut new people already.
Okay.
You fight me? And how cut he grew up by being in Virginia, but cut new people. Cut I think our neighborhood crib, he knew some
Get
truth out
ready
by
for the
and different
next
people.
battle.
smacked by
You know,
Sony.
so I can't say nothing to Cal Cut. You know what you say, Lil Wayne?
Lil Wayne, the blood.
Shout out Mac 10, cut new Mac 10, then up Queen Street, on hood, cut new them. Mac 10, he pretty much started them niggas out.
One.
Well, but look, I know a lot of Crips, Bloods, BDs, GDs, Latin Kings. That don't mean I want to be part of that.
No,
Doesn't mean I'm not going to claim that. You know, it doesn't mean I'm going to claim that. I don't have nothing to do with that, man. I do the interviews. I say what's up. I'm friends with some of them.
fuck all the big booty shitches, coochies, and assholes.
That's right. All
How
that.
many you fuck?
A lot.
How many big booty shitches, coochies, and assholes?
A lot.
Oh, man.
At least 1,000. I'm 52 though, you know? I got a head start.
Boy, you're almost 55. When you're 55, see that?
At 55?
So,
You shut up on my 55th birthday?
On hood.
Fight.
Okay, so you start to go viral. Then in 2021, you get arrested again for a felon in possession of a firearm.
Happens, that's part of life. That's how the cookie.
Why'd you feel you needed to carry a gun at that point?
Well, okay, you gotta watch everything. When you grow smarter in the industry and life, you know what I learned from different people. Tell me, get you a nice arm guard. That's gonna help you do a lot of great things. Shout out Mama Bear. She's been telling me years. I never listened. Now I do. A great arm guard to help you do different things, yeah. And watch everything, stay alert. You never know when shit gets sneaky and tricky. Oh, slipped! Now! Cat underscore boutique underscore Instagram on wood and on slips count. OG Snow. I was in federal prison with on Wood.
Well, you got caught slipping with the gun, right?
아,
But Austin's Count, I also think Austin's Count me, cuz.
막
It's the
누르네.
last time you can wear this shirt, you're gone. Austin's Count. Well, goddamn, kid. You was slipping.
아,
Trying to go get an out,
How much time
You
did
were
you give you?
slipping.
How much time
Trying
did
to
you
get
give
some tacos. Well, slipping gonna go meet a big booty shit. You slipped,
you? So how much time did they give you for that?
Well, that right there, too, was 11 months.
Okay, not too bad. Okay, well, was it around this time that you and Jap 5 got into it?
On Maywood Crip, it was.
Okay, now I just had Jap 5 on my show,
Yeah, well,
and he talked about the incident.
I mean, he kept everything 55th Street, kept everything real, and I respect that.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't say that, you know, it was completely one-sided, but he said ultimately he won the fight.
Good, he win on Maywood Crip. Like he said, kid, I tried to swing 2 wild punches, kid. Smaller. Like, oh yeah, kid, I got the Maywood Crip. Good, exactly. On Maywood Crip, saying everything on Maywood Crip. Oh, listen, when Cud connected with them toe cup on Maywood Crip, it felt like a hammer smashing my head on Maywood Crip. I almost thought I went by sleep. On 5-5 Crip. And then, kid, I'm trying to get up like Jack. Let me up, cuz ain't letting me up, cuz. I can't expect that, cow, cuz. Kind of looking at me, y'all. But you keep firing, cuz. I fired like on Maywood Crip. I don't know if you ever been hit that hard, cuz. Where you see stores, cuz, like you getting ready to go, wow. I'm like, hold on, cuz, like enough, cuz. On Maywood Crip, that's when Drew. On Maywood Crip from Backstreet Watts, cuz. On where the Ginger was right there. Ginger, like he letting them know, like, Groove, that's enough. And also, Drew, like, that's enough. Cuz, let me up, cuz. I try to get up, cuz. I'm getting up, cuz. I'm dazed. Cuz, fire on me, yeah, boom. On Maywood Crip, you ain't no real hooper, killer. On Maywood Crip, just like that, cuz, on Wood. And the fight was over with, cuz. I'm dazed on Maywood Crip. I'm like, cuz, there's no way in hell. And I see why a lot of niggas I know that we ain't gonna mention no names, cuz they running the gun, cuz they don't want to fight, cuz. Cuz gonna embarrass you, nigga, on Maywood Crip. That's not a normal fight.
고기만
Cuz gonna hurt something.
Jap 5?
On Maywood Crip.
You look like it.
Oh, he gonna hurt something.
Yeah, no,
You
yeah.
fight gun
No,
already.
I'm good. No, thanks.
They stirred it down,
No, thanks. I'm turning down the fade. Yo, Jap 5, I'm turning down the fade officially.
Cut wanna fight with you,
No, I don't want to fight with you, man. You're cool, man. Appreciate you coming by the show. I'm turning that fade down. You got that one. You got that one.
Like 10 years old, though.
Right.
Cut doing it. On hook.
Well, you and Blueface got into it?
I mean, Blueface, cuz we are.
Okay. Because you claimed that he wasn't really from the hood.
No, cuz from where cuz from, cuz. I was just saying, cuz, I respect cuz cricket. I just know that how cuz cricket, it ain't like, I'm crazy cricket. You know, it's a little different. I respect cuz cricket.
What did that fight?
Huh?
Yeah, the boxing match he just had.
Cuz went out there, cuz deal with cuz on hood. I respect it.
I respect it too. I mean, people want to talk about him getting knocked out the ring, but yo, it happens.
How many of them motherfuckers gonna get in there and you get their face blown off? Just get punched out real good. On me, good grip.
아, 얘 왜 안
I
맞냐?
respect that win because you gotta realize in a boxing fight, different than a street fight. Cause a street fight is more contact. It's quick. It's gonna end faster on the knee with grip. A boxing fight, cause you gotta stamina. Act your stamina. And once you run out of stamina, or you get hit somewhere in the chest or some shit like that, then you gonna go out on knee with grip.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, look, Chibu ultimately, I think, had the better night.
Yeah.
And both of them, though, get props for getting in that ring and actually doing it.
Oh yeah, on fight like Chris.
Yeah.
I respect the count, knee with Chris. On hood. Shout out Blue Fights, get on hood. Call on Blue. Shout out Blue. On hood. Schoolyard Chris. On hood.
What do you think about the fight with him and Swaggy P, though? That's coming up. No, it didn't happen yet. It's coming up.
Oh, I don't know. I can check that out.
Okay. We'll see what happens. I mean, Swaggy P used to be...
So many big booty shits, coochies, and assholes. I haven't looked at that. Well, I'm gonna check it out too.
Okay. You and Charleston White got into it?
Charleston White, you know, I ain't got nothing bad. Say, cow, try to put me back in jail. Charged in white. Look, just take care of your loved lives, your grandkids, and all that shit. Cal, need to quit everything. Go see all right. I ain't got nothing else to say.
Well, I mean, you talked about your mental health.
I am a mentally ill, crip crazy.
Are you still on medication? No.
I'll tell you why. Not affiliates. Normal people take your medication for mental health. Myself, with this shit, as a gangbanger, don't take it, kid. You could freeze and cross-slip the count. You can't do that. The medication will have you like a zombie. Imagine a gangbanger like me like a zombie. I won't do it. The big booty shits might try to take my wallet.
Well, in 2022, you got DP'd by 55th Street.
Me, Blood Crip. I was trolling the internet because I was disrespecting different hood. After the 6 hours put me off, I was mad. I ain't gonna lie to you, cuz. I'm Blood Crip. And I love the roller 60s now, cuz they know I do all shit by the hood, cuz I got a general rank on Blood Crip from 5'5". You know, I was mad on hood. Milk put it out there, kid, on hood. And, yeah, I had to take that issue, on neighborhood crib.
Well, did you have a video where you were claiming different affiliations?
Yeah, that was the trolling shit I was
doing. Oh, so you were just trolling?
I was trolling because I was mad because what happened with me with the rolling 60 shit, because after I got put on there, I waited like 6 to 8 months, you know, you finally go get put on some real, I was mad on neighborhood crib. I was mad as a motherfucker, ain't gonna lie.
Okay, so how bad was the DP? That stands for disciplinary process. Well, it was 15.
Oh, they put some niggas in just like 10 to 15 years in prison. Damn. Some shit. You probably seen the video, see my big niggas out there. They been putting me with no interlopes to get me DP. I know you seen them big niggas see that video.
Okay.
Look at that video again.
You felt that it was
되게 못 싸운다.
It was well deserved. It opened my eyes up to let them know, like, hey, look, when you fight this, how shit go, cut. You gotta own up and stand.
오늘 인터넷 보니까
That come out, cut. That's why a lot of people don't want that fame life. Whatever they get fucked up.
부부인가? 아니면 그냥 사귀는 사이인가?
It made me stronger as a crip. It made me stronger as a crip. It made me want to do full destruction and stand on that.
남자하고 여자가 아이를 낳았는데 그 여자가 정신적인 문제가 있어가지고 일부러 그 남자를 정신병 환자로 만들려고 했는데 실패했다고 해서 그거 듣고 깜짝 놀랐어. 그런 여자들도 있지.
And it was that same year that you started getting on No Jumper on a regular basis.
But I was 2021, I was on No Jumper 2022.
Yeah, 2022, you started getting on more appearances.
Oh, yeah, on neighborhood crib. Oh, 2022. Oh, hood.
You became a regular. Yeah, you became a regular on No Jumper.
Yeah, on hood.
Yeah, shout out to Adam, that's my man.
Shout out Adam22 with his trolly welly ass. We're gonna fuck your wife in her asshole, Lena. We're gonna tear her coochie and asshole loose. We're gonna fuck her, just screams, it comes everywhere. We're coming her coochie, I'm coming her asshole, I'm coming her hair. Adam, we love you.
Okay. I have no comment when it comes to that.
Oh, y'all like Lena, you see that big old soft ass?
That's my man's wife, so you know.
That'll let everybody fuck her.
Not everybody.
Fuck her. He'll let you.
Well, weren't you actually, they did a show about who gets to do a threesome.
Yeah,
like we were on that show.
I didn't win.
You did not win.
I went back 5 to jail.
Okay. But you did compete.
Yeah,
you did compete. Okay, so you and China Mac used to
China Mac, that's my buddy. What on neighborhood crib? Cousin, on hood, my CM, Juicy Dreamer, the mother, and Clyde Bear, my baby on hood, a couple $1,000 when I was in jail on neighborhood crib. And Cub been sending them money like $555. It came to the point, Cub, where me and Cole did fall out right on Need Good Credit.
Over what?
You know, the shit that Adam said, a cow cup, I was in jail. I was just like, me and Cub, we buddy ways on Need Good Credit. Why don't Cub say something? I was wrong on Need Good Credit. You fighting? And I just realized that Cub on Gang Bang, that's my friend, that's my homeboy. At the end of the day, Cub, I should never got myself in the mix of that.
Yeah, look, me and like I gave China Mac his first interview when he got out of jail. He got out of prison. This was like over 10 years ago. I gave him his first ever interview. Me and him were cool.
Yeah.
We kind of had a falling out because he trolled me live on stream. He had his homies come in and pretend like they had a gun, and I'm like, I was kind of stuck. And I had something on me, but I'm being streamed.
Hey, you seem like a good guy. I am hanging out with you. You fuck all the big booty stitches.
That's right. But you know, I got upset with him because I was like, man, you had me on stream and you set me up as Frank.
Black, it don't matter. Puerto Rican, I don't give a fuck.
All that. You know, so I got kind of in my feelings over that, but honestly, enough time has passed. China Mac, if you want to reach back out.
China Mac, my buddy Waddy, I don't hook.
I don't know.
Vlad on what? Vlad TV?
I think since our last interview, we got him eating some dog on accident. I don't know if you saw that video.
No, I didn't see it.
You didn't see the video?
No.
About him eating dog?
Me? No, no.
You want me to show you the video?
No.
Of China Mac eating some dog?
Eating dog, no.
He was like in Asia somewhere, like in China. And some dude like told him to try this. He tried. He's like, oh, that's dog.
Shrimp fried rice.
No, that's shrimp fried dog.
No.
That's dog fried rice.
I like puppies.
Dog fried
I like dogs too.
And I have cats.
Yeah, I got a cat too.
Well, Lupe adopted my cats. I've been in jail, but I have cats.
Well, then in 2023, you got arrested again. This time by the feds for having a ghost gun.
Well, God.
So ghost gun is what, like a 3D printed gun?
A ghost gun, they can't track it, so they mad.
Okay. Well, I mean, at this point, you got arrested for it. Did you plead out or did you go to trial?
No, God, they gave me the best deal they could. Yeah, my lawyer, Attorney Singerman. Shout out Attorney Singerman on Maywood Crip. God was able to give me 30-something months on Maywood Crip.
Right.
I was, as soon as I came in, kid, I'm like, oh, they already offered 55 months. I'm like, all right, on Maywood Crip, I'm gonna take you 55 by the hood, on up.
Yeah.
And Coach Warren came 5 fingers like this. You could get a lot less on that because just wait a little. I waited a little. I knew I had a baby coming with Juicy Drina. That's when Kalani Bear was starting to come. You know? And I'm just like, damn, cuz I got a baby also coming. I gotta put some shit in order. You know?
Yeah, you got 33
나중에
months.
얘기 녹았나?
Me over on
Yeah.
Maywood Crib.
You got 33 months in the feds. What exactly, I mean, now that you pled guilty, what exactly was this ghost gun? Can you explain it to me?
Ghost gun count, Maywood Crib. It's untraceable on Maywood Crib. And it has full ammunition on Maywood Crib. They don't like them cut. Plus it come from other states, so it's in some transport, some shit like that. Cause they hit that with that cut, and they can't trace it. Cause they don't like it. That's what a ghost gun count. Maywood Crib, they gonna put you in jail.
Okay, so is it just a gun with the serial number scratched off, or was it a gun that
That
someone made?
motherfucker's whacked out like the Hoover killer on my motherfucking head. That shit is blown all the way out.
Okay, so it's just a gun with a...
You can't trace it.
Okay, I got it. Okay, so now you're in the feds. Is this the first time you're in the feds instead of the state?
Yep.
What's different between the feds and the state?
Respect.
Okay.
That's all it's based off respect. Your paperwork. How you carry your motherfucking self. Are you gonna stand up when we have riots with other races? Or are you gonna fold and tuck your tail? It's respect, huh? Anybody can survive through the feds if they have respect and they're willing to fight and stand on wherever the fuck they live in. On Negro Crip and what they stand on hood, the feds, yeah.
Well, when you're locked up, Brick Baby started talking about your paperwork.
My paperwork's in it.
Okay, but you know what I'm talking about, though.
What good?
What did he say exactly, you know?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, because they checked your paperwork when you got to the feds.
Yeah, because that's just part of it. You got to check it.
Round 2.
And it was clean.
Fight.
Most definitely.
What were they trying to accuse you of?
Well, Whack 100 was trying to put out there, which could have got me really, really hurt, that my shit was bad when it wasn't.
Okay, so you're trying to say that you cooperated?
Yeah, I never have.
Okay. So, in the feds, what was the worst situation you went through?
I just had to, get people that standing on shit. We gotta get them up the door, but at the end of the day, I look at that like it's just all crip, Nick. It's crip. I'm on crip time. My name is Crazy Mad Ass Crip. I'm Crip Mac. I'm on crip time. Yeah, my paperwork's good. We're gonna remove niggas off the yard that's fucking up, but we're gonna stand on this shit. But other than that, the feds is just a solid program. Could you meet good people in there? Shout out OG Snow, Watergate Crip, Baby Lou from Harlem. Three Finger Louie from Harlem, Crazy Chief from Alaska. Can you meet some good people? Rich from PJ Watts, Goldie from PJ Watts. Sumo, cut from Diamond Crip. OG Creek was there from Diamond. We removed Big Blue from Diamond Crip, big old swole nigga. That's how this paperwork wasn't bad. Cut was bigger than the program. Ain't nobody bigger than the program. It don't matter if you're as big as 600 Mr. Lovejoy or not, nigga. You gotta go, cuz we can get your ass up out of there. Don't need blue crip, we gonna stand on this shit.
Well, I've interviewed a lot of dudes that did a lot of prison time, jail time, and so forth.
A lot of them wanna go Muslim, church shit.
Right.
Look, the big booty shit's gonna leave you regardless if you're a Muslim or going by church. Oh, babe, you're going to church today. She's still getting fucked every weekend or every day. There's a man laying in her bed while she's talking to you. Come on, pal. Run from your senses, nigga. Stand on business, hood. I don't need blue crib. That's what I'm gonna do.
The worst shit that I heard was some of the Chicago guys.
Shout out Chicago.
Like the Trenches News, Reckless, One Off 1700 mentioned this. Something called Savage Life. You heard of this?
Sounds like a rap record. Can I get on?
You don't want to get on this one.
Oh, well, I'm not getting
Savage Life that happens in Chicago a lot is if you get into it with someone, these dudes will knock you out, pull your pants down, and spit in your ass. And then, when that happens, that has to be registered in prison as a rape because there's human, substance inside you.
I don't respect that. I don't respect that at all.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't respect none of that. That's not marking nobody out, cub. Catching your face, cub, putting people out, or how squabbles go on neighborhood crip or in rice, cub, you do your shit with on little shanky wanky on neighborhood crip. It is what it is, on hook. Hey shit, cub, you ain't with none of that, cub, neighborhood crip. I don't respect that type of shit on neighborhood crip.
I mean, were there rapes happening in any of the jails you're with?
I don't respect none of that. People here, different shit with different people. We had a fat fight that I was up there. They said, kill him, suck his dick in the shower, get fucked in the ass.
이거 회원들만 들을 수 있어가지고 걸리면 안 되니까 소리 좀 풀지.
It's none of my business. I mean, some of these dudes, I take a magazine and jack off the rest of my life, nigga. You wanna take my anger out? I'll fight niggas. I'll crack niggas down with a knife. On neighborhood crip, I'm not fucking no punk or no fool. Yeah? I am a hood. I live by myself. I live by my dead homeboys. Yeah, I'm not doing no shit like that ever a day in my life. Yeah? On neighborhood crip.
The other thing you talk about, the Chicago dudes, or some call it block dookie, where they basically take a bunch of shit and piss and put it in some sort of tube and use it as a gun, like spray people with it. Would never do that. Okay. Have you been involved in any stabbings? Never.
No.
Never got stabbed? Never stabbed anybody?
No shit like that.
Have you ever seen it though?
I'm a couple times here, nigga.
Okay.
It happens in jail.
Okay, but how did you avoid those types of situations?
Yeah, let me know it. It's crazy shit they do to people, hey, we can't look, we can't see what's going on because you got a stuck blind eye. Ain't good grip. I'm not telling you.
Well, you get released on February 20th of this year.
That's my story. Hey, nigga, I started
33 years old. How did it feel to get out?
I couldn't stop crip walking. I couldn't fucking pass out. I sleep well. Couldn't sleep.
Sleep it.
I'm sorry. I sleep 5 catch fish below my phone and all the shit kept putting being over there. No straight by the baby and
얘랑 친구 될 사람이 있을까?
Okay, how old's the baby now?
almost 2 man. Baby fuck.
Congratulations, man.
That shows me that you're a cripple raging motherfucker. You are definitely a great guy. You're a psychopath. But now you have a baby. That's why the baby came to the bed. A lot of beer.
Well, you've been on No Jumper a bunch of times. Adam, how'd you feel when you saw the boxing match between Jason Love and Adam? I was actually right there. I walked him in. I was right there ringside. You watched it?
He showed me. It was a disgrace.
I felt bad for him, man. He didn't throw one punch.
He loved me. He didn't fuck.
Really? No, he got a bag.
No, not you, Cub. Cub, somebody fight Cub.
Adam should have fought. Adam should have tried to fight Jason. I agree, man. I wish he would have just thrown a few punches.
Win something. You ain't try it.
Yeah, I don't think Adams used to fight.
물을 너무 과하게 마셨던 것 같아. 그래서 손가락이 안 나아진 것 같아. 많이 피곤해하고. 특히 기본적인 것도 모르고 살아왔으니까 좀 창피하다.
You don't think he cares about his wife?
He loves her, but he didn't even try to fight the man. That was fine. Adam just cared about money.
Well, Dean the Great went to...
The number one best food for magnesium is not spinach, it's not chocolate, and it's not even pumpkin seeds. It's something that not many people have on their grocery list. But if you're dealing with cramps, sleep, or anxiety, you need magnesium that's actually going to be absorbed. And most plant forms of magnesium are also loaded with oxalates, which block magnesium and calcium. So the question is, what food has high amounts of magnesium that is not only absorbable, but has close to 0 oxalates? 3 tablespoons of this food literally give you 50% of your RDAs for magnesium. Now,
nutritional yeast.
RDAs are outdated about 100 years. Most people that create therapeutic dose need double, triple, even quadruple the amount of magnesium.
nutritional yeast 영양효모.
Parallel to that, it's also important to avoid certain things like oxalates that can block our absorption of magnesium. And the answer is hemp seeds.
Hemp seeds.
Hemp is a good source, avocados are a good source, and romaine lettuce can also help contribute to your daily magnesium needs.
마그네슘 많은 게 햄프샷 하고 아보카도라네.
It's something that not many people have on their grocery.
Get ready for the next battle.
아이씨.
He actually went to my show first. Went to Adam's show, and then, I mean, I know the whole thing was staged, but you and Dean kind of got into it. That was definitely staged, but it was entertaining.
You see now I try to get there.
Yeah.
And come Jill, we probably would have got cut a lot more. Me, we couldn't. But Cub, if you right here, Cub, on me, good Christmas, you get hit somewhere right here, you can't breathe. You can't breathe. You get hit right here on top of the nose, cut it.
Yeah, because you guys had a boxing match, like a little sparring match, and he caught you with one.
Cub caught me right here. Cub caught me in the nose.
Oh, you caught you in the nose?
No, my shit been. I've been
Oh, it been
fighting.
fractured. Okay, yeah.
But it's getting better on us. Fighting. I need to get somebody to hit you. Water your eyes. Right here. Right there, top of the nose. Right here. Because you can't breathe on me.
Right. And I mean, listen, Dean actually fights boxes seriously.
Yeah, once I felt him like that, tell me good grip. I'm like, oh my God, all this shit go out. Fuck.
I mean, you took it well. It's not like you're trying to hide it or trying to make excuses. No, he caught you the one.
Watch, because I was boxing. They tell me all the shit right here. All this shit. I'm not like that. I'm trying to shit. Shit, watch the shit. I was getting cut a couple times in the face. Nobody said. A lot of people hate this because my features are so high. Can't fight nothing I do anymore. So they're mad. Everybody just hates on me. I'll quit like this. I get no love.
Fight.
Well, you and Dean get into that little stage thing, and like, Linda was there, you know, grabbing those ass. Is there an orifice that you prefer? It doesn't matter.
I am still magnanimous. I'm addicted to big booty sisters racking on my enemy. I am addicted.
Weren't you and Bosco 100 supposed to do a boxing match?
Me and Costco was, how me, getting a little training down with Mr. Lovejoy kid, have him see. I mean, tell what you want, cuz he ain't want to do it no more. Costco ain't want to do that shit.
Okay, so it's not gonna happen?
Never offered me, you gotta realize how it feels. I got a base now. I got her my CM, so I gotta make sure the doubters make sense. It's a pretty good fit.
Okay, so it may happen, just...
Money goes right. I gotta make sure everything makes sense. So we need to
I got you.
make sure that the dollars make it.
Well, you're at 20 versus 1.
I love big booty shit.
Adam 22 said that it was a disaster.
It was
a disaster.
What?
You asked every woman if she could cook clean and she liked dinner food, she an asshole.
I want to know. They don't. I don't want to know.
So if a girl doesn't do anal, then you're not interested.
No, if she doesn't, I'm gonna fuck with her. I'll love her. Fuck her goofy. I'm gonna fuck her mother. If she doesn't, or slut, I'm Gucci and asshole. I'm Gucci Killer Mac Nasty. I don't trap those. I don't move.
Okay.
Fight.
And I love it. Ain't good enough love. No, I ain't good enough love.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be out right now, actually.
Love it. Ain't good enough love. Get some good Gucci and asshole
Later tonight?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Definitely.
I believe. Do you have a girlfriend now or no? So you and the mom are getting along?
She has a type of guy she likes, you know, and I'm so I am, so, you know, really got her. I love my baby here, so I'm gonna make sure her and her mama have dollars and all the shit, cause I need good grip. I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna stay at 55 if I can't buy a thing. Break A5 bigger than federal. Give every enemy or certified play ball get cracking this you on. I don't need good grip.
For the sake of your daughter, though, have you ever considered just let me try to work it out with the mom, maybe move in, try to be a family? Why is that? For the sake of the baby.
I love the baby.
For the sake of the baby.
That's a fucking disaster. Every second she wants a fucking argument. And she loves every guy from opposite side.
Okay. Wait, so she's messing with dudes that you're enemies
No,
with?
she just loves them. She loves them. They're her best friend. She grew up over on these sides.
Okay.
Oh my God, I don't want to fuck with you. I'm gonna leave you alone, let you love them niggas. You can Uber stomp in your apartment by yourself. With the baby. I'm gone. I'll get the fuck up out of here. Oh. Oh.
You plan on having more kids?
Well, eventually I might have another baby.
Is there one on the way right now?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Well, maybe.
No,
Nah?
nobody's told me.
I mean, you been strapping up.
Well, I'm Western Caretax Splash, a lot of coochies and assholes, but I have, strapped up with a couple stitches.
Okay.
아,
Well,
배고파.
you don't strap up. You think you just pull out every time? You know what they call people?
Come on, I'll take care of the baby.
Let me tell you something.
For myself, the next him give my baby my last name, nigga. Name the kid.
You know what they call couples that use the pull-out method? Parents.
I love it. Can't get enough of it.
All right, before I let you go,
I want to sell out my H-State instructions. Blue Devil and Evil. Oh, those my guys. And I'm that type of way. Don't get it twisted. No.
before I let you go, excluding yourself,
Huh?
excluding yourself, the top 5 Crips of all time.
Whoa! Snoop Doggy Dogg.
That's, all right, that's one. In no order. In no particular order.
Snoop Doggy Dogg.
That's one.
T-Fly.
T-Fly,
Blueface.
Blueface,
I want to do Spider Log.
Spider Loc.
On Hood. And let's go ahead and do Top Crips here. Let's do goddamn, cuz we got one more. Nipsey Hussle, cuz.
Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah, on Hood.
Okay. Now, one prominent one you left off. Tukey Williams.
If I show cuz, yeah, on Hood. Yeah, on Hood.
That's more of a legendary kind of
Most
figure.
definitely, and Tukey Williams, on Hood.
Rest in peace, Tukey, man.
The big Crip.
Yeah.
On Hood. Multiple Playboy touchdowns. Nate Hood, on Hood. Big Tukey Williams, on Hood.
Yeah. All right, so Crip Mac, what's next for you?
Well, kid, I've been talking with different people, kid. They've been putting different shows in order, kid. Been doing some different type of movies on Neighborhood Crip. And also, just venues and meeting different people. And planning on going to Puerto Rico and finding my wife for my dreams and fuck her.
In Puerto Rico?
So,
Okay.
oh, man, I love Puerto Rico.
Who doesn't?
You love them?
Everyone loves Puerto Rico.
All of them? How many you know?
I know 1 or 2.
I love them. Can't get enough trouble. I love them.
You see, but you know something, you gotta go to Brazil. And then everything gonna change.
Oh,
Puerto Ricans are cool, but Brazilians?
Yeah. I watch Brazilian porn.
Exactly.
Love they
Exactly.
and assholes.
Exactly.
Shout out Brazil. On
That's where the BBL came from, the Brazilian butt lift. It came from Brazil.
Their assholes fucked. Shout out to Brazilian whores out there in
Brazil. Shout out to Brazil.
On Neighborhood Crip. I gotta get some good coochie and asshole from out there, huh?
Let me ask you one last question, right? Because you're 100% into the whole Crip thing,
I
to the
love
point
crippin'.
of the face
They gonna
tattoos,
kill
everything
me,
else
see,
like
I ain't
that.
crippin'. They gonna give me a death penalty. See how I'm crippin'. I love crippin'.
Okay, now what happens though? What happens when your daughter, reaches 15, 16 years old and says, "Dad, I want to be a Crip too"?
No, baby girl. Your mother loves Hoover stomping with those guys over there, and I'm not going to allow you to do no type of cripping. We have a college plan, 5 of you. Mama Bear and Granny Bear have piano lessons, 5 of you. And Lupe can teach you to drive around town. Neighborhood, bro. On Hood. We got a lot of great things you can do. Don't do the crip in the hood.
There you have
It's
it.
your lifestyle.
There you have it. Well, Crip Mac, man, we've been talking about doing this for a while. Welcome home. Glad you finally got on here. Adam, my man.
Neighborhood crip.
It's only right to have you on here.
On Hood. Gotta
You
go
know-
home and bust some coochie and asshole now. On Hood.
And I just want to say, Max, we went through your whole story.
Oh, yeah, on Neighborhood Crip. Shout out Mama Bear, Granny Bear on Neighborhood Crip.
Yeah.
Been there by me on Neighborhood Crip. On Hood.
I just want to say, man, because, we went through the whole story.
General Baby Snaps and King Five Fingers, and he's been a little crazy, mad-ass Crip. The bitchy Bistry up in Logan. No, the bitchy Bistry General. That's my big homeboy. On Hood.
I just want to say, man, that you have a lot of opportunities that most people don't have.
Most definitely. On Hood.
And I don't want to see you making the same mistakes
Oh, no, I
you've been
won't.
making
I gotta
all
step-
these years.
No.
I don't want to hear about another gun charge.
No, I'm a great guy.
You know-
I'm a good man.
Hire security if you need to.
Most definitely. I know some great
Or
security people.
if you feel like you got to go somewhere we need a gun, maybe it's not a good idea to go there.
Just grab security.
or grab security. That's how I look at it. Either I don't go or I'm going to go with security.
Security plays ball. They get cracking like blue
That's right.
evil. Because they don't fire their ass.
Right. But what I'm saying is, I don't think there's a reason. There's no reason for you to carry a gun anymore. There's no reason for you to be in a situation because at the end of the day, when it comes to police, you're obviously a target.
Most definitely.
If they see a whole bunch of people and they got to pull someone over, you're going to be the first one. Just because of how you look.
Most definitely.
With the tats and everything.
Let's see. Officer, why me? Am I going to jail? Oh, cool. I would. I hear you don't call me, but I would.
That's what it is. Crip Mac, man. Wish you all the best.
I want to shout out the Marathon Cargo on Neighborhood Crip, Black Sam, and SIP Nipsey Hussle. Y'all go there and tell them the Marathon Cargo is better than In-N-Out. I'm going to keep it 50 straight. I would. Shout out Lil Cozy and Spiffy Luciano also cutting their butt. I would.
That's what it is. Till next time. Peace.
I would.
잠깐만요. 누가 뭐 좀 알려달라고 해가지고. 오케이.
Get ready for the next battle.
브라이언. 저랑 함께 있어줘서 고마워요, 최강 선생님. 최강 선생님 거 다 알아요. 아, 필살기 쓸 수 있었는데.
Round 2. Fight. Round 3. Fight.
자,
Round 4. Fight.
아, 그래. 아, 죽었어.
Round one. Fight.
아,
Round two. Fight.
콤보 엄청 기네. 아,
Round three. Fight.
그러면 화날 줄 아나? 아, 그래.
Round four. Fight.
뭐야? 아, 좋다.
Get ready for the next battle.
No, please. Me va a matar.
Don't fight, Lorenzo. Don't fight, Lorenzo.
Okay. Oh, no. Oh no. Oh, por favor. No, please.
Get ready for the next battle.
Again, and then in his off season,
Fight.
we're keeping it real. Mike explains everything. He's open, honest, transparent. He's explaining to the world exactly why he's doing this, and he's showing the repercussions. And the number one comment: fart sound lat spread. Coach Greg, in today's video, Mike Israetel shocks the world. He has undergone a very serious and very evasive surgery. I have to caution you, to warn you, he has in fact showed these photos. Graphic medical imagery. Swipe at your own risk. And so in the before photos, he weighed in at 268 pounds. Back in 2011, he was 27 years of age. At the time, he states he was 100% natural and he had evolved to a massive 268 pounds. And in the second photo taken recently, he's 40 years of age while weighing 235 pounds. And he's admittedly not natural. And since that time, he has put on a serious amount of muscle. He's dieted down for competition, got to, I believe it was 6.2% body fat, taken with the DEXA scan, and then in his off-season, he's perhaps 10 or 15% body fat. And so, unfortunately, what happened, and remember, I'm explaining it exactly as he has, he's decided to get surgery to remove lower back and love handle excess skin and fat cells. Many people have accused him and saying, why don't you just diet it up? This demonstrates that you don't know what you're doing. But here's the thing. When you have excess fat cells from having bulked up too far in the past, it makes it very, very difficult to lose this extra weight. And unfortunately, you can't target fat loss from your body. Mike Israetel has very lean quads, hamstrings, and calves, but he carries the majority of his fat in his stomach, sides, and so on. If he could just magically do a bunch of sit-ups and burn off the body fat in his core, I'm certain he would do so. But unfortunately, unless he walks around at single-digit body fat, he's always going to have excess fat around his midsection. Lots of folks have been asking why I got surgery. It's because once you get really fat in caps, young and dumb of me, your skin and new fat cells kind of don't go away. Don't go over 15 to 20% body fat as a male and 25 to 30% fat as a female if you can avoid it. What have I been preaching for years, decades in fact? That you should be healthy in the off-season. That you should maintain. Dr. Mike confirms with Coach Greg that bulking beyond a certain point, it's utterly useless. What you're doing is you're stretching the skin out. It's going to then form new skin, and you can in fact have extra fat cells that will make it even more difficult to lose weight. But yet, with the majority of people going a bulk, they're pushing way beyond 20. Many people start their bulk above 20% body fat. Oh, I'm skinny fat. You're 23% body fat. Do you really think shoving in some extra french fries, burgers, chocolate milk, and so on is going to help you to build more muscle? It's not. You're building more fat cells and, in fact, excess skin. And so his BMI, according to ChatGPT, is 43.9. That is classified as a class 3 obesity, meaning it's severe obesity. And so when you become a severely obese, just like Eddie Hall, there are long-term side effects. And so once you diet down, once you try to get shredded, you're going to have excess skin that simply doesn't go away. I don't care how hard you diet. You drop down to some 5% body fat. You're just not as lean nor as shredded as somebody who was never obese in the past. You can tan your skin all you like. but it's not going to cover up the excess skin that remains. And so Mike reveals that this surgery is super, super tough to go through. He describes it being a ruthless experience. Not for everyone, and barely even for me. And so many people in the comment section have stated, well, you have body dysmorphia. I personally don't believe that this is body dysmorphia. Body dysmorphia is when you have a distorted view of the reality of your situation. And so if Mike Israetel, for example, has never been obese in the past and said, I need to remove this excess skin, some excess skin that didn't really exist, that he was looking in the mirror and he felt he had saggy skin, but yet no one else said the same thing, then that would be defined as body dysmorphia. Or for example, you have single-digit body fat and you actually think that you're fat. You can't take your shirt off because you think other people are going to look at you and point at you, stare, and say, look at this fatso. That's body dysmorphia. And so he states, I don't have a body dysmorphia, but the excess skin is universally undesirable. So I got it lopped off. I'm 100% pro any body modification anyone wants to do, so long as they're intelligently appraised the trade-offs. Look at the difference. You're not going to believe the extreme changes that you can see in his physique. Now remember, the trade-off to do something like this is an extensive recovery. Mike Israetel enjoys going to the gym, performing jiu-jitsu, and so on, but for the next 8 weeks, he can't lift anything. And so many of you have embarked on weight loss journeys and so on. And you are, in fact, going to be left with some excess skin. And remember this, when you get older, your body will not remain as it once was. I'm 49, and my skin is way looser than it was in my past. The extra skin on my lower abdominals is beginning to sag. I was never obese in my past, but yet I even have it. And I'm only 49, so imagine when you're 59, 69, and so on. Or maybe even 79! 79! And for the women out there, if you deliver a baby, especially if you gain a substantial amount of weight, now most women, they need to gain perhaps 30, 35 pounds during the pregnancy, but oftentimes they go way over that, perhaps 50, 60 pounds and so on. When that happens and you gain a substantial amount of weight, remember your skin doesn't care if it's stretchy because of body fat, a muscle, or a baby, or anything, and so you're going to develop excess skin and it doesn't always bounce back. This is my first large-scale cosmetic surgery, and let me tell you, it's way harder than dieting. Some of the folks that get like 10 procedures, I have no clue how they get through that. I can say that just having a hernia operation, it put me out for a week. 6 days I was laying in bed. Doctor said don't lift anything over 10 pounds for 8 weeks. And that was just a hernia. And so imagine how extensive this can be. Women oftentimes, after having a baby, will get a mommy makeover. They're getting their breast implants done as well as a tummy tuck. It's an extensive surgery. You need a game plan. And I know that from having my hip operated on, both elbows, having several surgeries and so on, all of them are extremely difficult and very, very painful. For those of you who do bodybuilding, getting a spray tan and so on, you're oftentimes going to stay in the sheets. This is not a tan. And no, it's not on his period. Holy V-taper. And so, is that not the first thing that you notice? The width of the upper body compared to the smallness of the waist. And so, this is a dramatic transformation. And so, Mike himself says, look, it's very painful. He's not going to be able to train for 8 weeks, but it's going to be worth it in a year from now when he can get back to normal. Seriously, I lost over 100 pounds. Did this shit on my own through discipline. And you are on here being called Dr. Mike, giving information. This is a joke. I will never take your information credible, ever, lazy. This is not fair. It's not as if he's currently morbidly obese. Remember, he just did a bodybuilding competition. He's only up around 18 pounds, and so certainly his body fat percentage is definitely in a healthy range. That 100 pounds is very impressive, man. I've lost 20 to 40 pounds 15 times or so during my life. It's always tough. 100 and keeping it off is super legit. And so here's the thing. It's great that you lost 100 pounds. That is remarkable. Mike Israetel has also lost the weight. He is in fact. The problem is he has excess skin. Skin that developed because he was obese in the past. Now, seeing as you've lost 100 pounds, do you not also have excess skin? Many people are hiding their excess skin in their pants and so on. but there is a lot of excess skin. I think the most famous example of all has to be Nikocado Avocado. Have you not seen his transformation? He went from being perhaps 170 pounds to 400 pounds, became morbidly obese. Then he went on a cut in secret for perhaps 2 years, lost all of the weight, but was left with a ton of extra skin. Now, many people don't realize it. How is this possible? He hides it. He made a video showing this. And what has he done since this time? He's gotten cosmetic surgery. Done essentially the same thing as Mike Israetel, because once you're morbidly obese, it stays with you. Not perhaps the fat. Mike Israetel lost the fat, but he couldn't lose the skin. It's not as if he was 270 pounds and they sucked out 50 pounds of body fat. He literally says 235 pounds before surgery, 235 pounds after. He weighs the same. He hasn't sucked out 20 pounds of fat. He didn't have 20 pounds of fat to begin with. I've lost 140 pounds down from 320 to 180. Maintaining for the last 3 years. How much of the excess skin will tighten on its own? And so many people think, well, in time, in all due time, it'll get back to normal. It won't. Mike states 20%. And so if you have 5 inches of extra skin, 20% of that is 1 inch. You're still going to be left with 4 inches of excess skin longer than that. Another man that we all love to follow, Brentley G, who was formerly 570 pounds, now in the lower 300s. Have you not seen his excess skin? You can't simply go on a cut and expect to get shredded. And so we all know Simon Goliath LeBonton, who is sponsored by Transcend. He was over 400 pounds and dieted down to get shredded. He was on a starvation diet doing cardio every single day. He lost the weight, but of course he was still left with excess skin. Nothing he could do about that. He outworked everyone, was dedicated to his craft, but he's left with excess skin. And what about obese to beast? He was on the Ellen DeGeneres show. He showed his incredible transformation, but he was in fact left with a lot of excess skin. Remember, the surgery of which Dr. Mike has stated is going to take him 8 weeks in order to recover. And when you love the gym, he loves jiu-jitsu, lifting weights, and so on, and you take what is perhaps the most exciting thing in your life, and you remove it for 8 straight weeks, that shows just how dedicated you have to be in order to get the surgery. I don't know if I could do it. Any thoughts on using peptides like BPC for enhanced recovery? Would something like that even work? Very curious, and so the answer is yes. You could, for example, use BPC 157, TP500, growth hormone, as these things could in fact speed your healing. But remember, you want to do so with the advice and consent from your doctor. Don't just take things at random. Do your research, get a qualified medical doctor to help you to know exactly what you're doing. And if you're interested in getting your blood work done, they have qualified medical doctors that can do all of this and prescribe to you exactly what you need. Do you need HRT? Do you need peptides? The best ways to be healthy for the long run. Click the link in the description. And so the question that I think everyone wants to know, are you planning on competing again? The answer, I am. And so I do believe the proof is in the pudding. How effective this surgery will be once Mike Israetel is able to compete and stand on stage again. Clearly, he has a better X-frame where his waist has gotten smaller. And so, will it be enough to get an IPB Pro card? What's the use of that hole? And so, if you zoom in, if you dare to look, there is a hole left in his skin. Remember, with a surgery as invasive as this, oftentimes there's going to be some drainage tubes to release fluids into a bag. And the #1 comment, fart sound lat spread. And I do believe people are not being malicious with this and saying the lat spread noise. Imagine how much better it's going to be with less skin on the sides of his body. With less body fat, less skin than last time, it's going to be even more impressive than last time. How much will you allow yourself to bulk now so as not to get that back? Mike's response, I only bulk 5 to 10 pounds now at any given time. Mike himself states he's bulking 5 to 10 pounds at most. But yet you, who probably already a bulk, you're trying to bulk even more. What is the point? What benefit does it have? If you bulk too far, you're not only going to have to diet for months to get it off, you're also also going to have excess
Ay,
skin in the
boy.
process. And so do the pros actually outweigh the cons? I don't think so. They go away naturally with a calorie deficit. Takes longer, but it does. Surgery is not needed. That is not true. And so oftentimes people are going to try to make money on you for something that you have no control over. The creams, the pills, the massages, none of that is going to get rid of your skin. And can you continue to diet? Yes. Mike can get down to, for example, 4% body fat. Lose all the fat on his body. He's still going to have the extra skin. Love it that you were open about this. I have half of a large bath towel worth of extra skin on my body because I was 300 pounds obese, and I am now 6% body fat. I just had 28 inches, that's over 2 feet, of excess skin removed from his face and neck. For the same reason, getting super fat is a bad idea. Most of the rest of my skin is on my butt and legs. Looks like a brutal recovery. We're keeping it real. Mike, he explains everything. He's open, honest, transparent. He's explaining to the world exactly why he's doing this, and he's showing the repercussions. Don't bulk to an excess amount of body fat when you're younger, because it will come back and bite you in the ass when you're older. It's get...
That's what you have to do in your diet. Or your legs, or your butt, or your hips. Let's cover what's underneath that. Now, in the past video, I've talked about cortisol, which is an adrenal hormone being the root cause of loose skin underneath your arm. But there's another very common cause, and that has to do with this one hormone called insulin, okay? But it's really a condition, means as far as what you have to do in your diet. Number one, but let me just explain what that means. Insulin resistance is a condition where you have a ton of insulin, but it's not working, okay? Because your body's resisting it at the cellular level, all right? Now, you need insulin. You definitely, you cannot live without it. But the problem is, we have too much of it because of our diets, like sugars and things like that. But check this out. Your cells have a little window that allows insulin to drive fuel in the cells, but also insulin is one of the main hormones that drives amino acid into the cells. It's the hormone that allows the absorption of proteins, specifically branched amino acids. Now, what is branched amino acids? Now, you see this a lot of times in people that are exercising, weightlifters, because branched amino acids are specifically good to repair and replenish lost muscle. Okay, so if you're losing muscle, you're atrophying, you would want branched amino acids. But the problem is, the insulin is not working to pull those amino acids into the cell because you could have insulin resistance, right? But what caused this problem first is you had too much insulin, and then now all of a sudden your body's rejecting it, and so now you're stuck with, you can't absorb insulin, yet you have too much, okay? It's kind of a weird situation. So in an insulin-resistant cell, you really are kind of like your cells are starving for protein, amino acids, and fuel. So here's some symptoms to know that you have this. Number one, you can't lose weight. Number two, you have a belly fat. Number three, you have brain fog, fatigue. If you skip a meal, you get very irritable. You can't go a long time without eating. When you're eating, you're not satisfied. When you're eating, you get tired right after you're eating. These are just common symptoms. It's kind of a pre-diabetic state. So what happens is you get this signal sent back to the pancreas that makes insulin and telling the pancreas, hey, we don't have enough insulin here, so go ahead and pump out more insulin because it's being blocked. So now the pancreas thinks that it doesn't have enough, so it's driving more and more insulin to force the nutrition into the cell. So you end up with a real bad situation because all that excess insulin creates other issues. So here we end up with a body that doesn't have amino acids, and you get flabby skin and aging and all sorts of issues with diabetes. Yet on the other side, all this excess insulin is creating belly fat, but also a lot of cognitive problems. It will create something called an amyloid or amyloid fibril. What the heck does that mean? Amyloids are sticky protein structures in the brain that are nearly always found in Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia even. It's kind of like a diabetes type 3. It's also found in strokes. I'm going to put some links down there. So here's my thought. Obviously, you want to increase the longevity of your memory, your brain. You don't want to get Alzheimer's. Well, you want to fix this insulin-resistant problem because amyloids come from high levels of insulin, and that gets stuck in the brain, and last thing you want to do is end up with a stroke. So they talk about clogged arteries, right? Well, but they don't talk about amyloids being clogging the arteries. They talk about cholesterol. Well, amyloid is a protein. Well, so is I got this question. How do you prevent your skin from sagging as you lose weight? I've had people not want to lose weight because they thought their skin is going to sag. Think about this. Your skin is an organ. It's one of the largest organs in the body. And as you get healthy, that skin heals. That collagen heals up. So the only way you're going to get sagging skin when you lose weight is if you lose weight unhealthily, like a gastric bypass or a major starvation diet like HCG or something like that, which you're doing 500 calories. So as long as you're losing weight healthily, the skin will adapt to the weight loss, because we almost want to have you lose weight kind of gradually over time, but have the skin come in there and get toned that way. And if you have sagging belly, I created a video on my blog where you can do sit-ups in reverse. So most people do sit-ups where they're coming this way, which basically just contracts and makes the skin looser. But you want to do reverse sit-ups. You're going to go back and stretch it backwards and tighten the skin. So, in other words, do the program healthily and the skin will not be sagging, and it'll be more gradual. And if you have stretch marks, I have a video on how to get rid of that on my blog, so check it out. I want you to try this tomorrow morning. Just add 1 scoop of this in your coffee. I'm talking about collagen. You stir it up, dissolves nicely, there's no taste. I add a touch of cream, but boy, what it does to your body is next level. It's inexpensive, very quick, simple, and it will support your skin, your joints, your hair, your sleep, your gut. I want to explain some things that collagen can do for your body that you probably have never heard before. Out of all of your body's protein, 30% of it is made up of collagen. That might not mean much to you until you realize that most of the dietary protein you're consuming is only like 1 to 3% collagen. So there's a huge gap between the dietary collagen that's coming in from your diet and the collagen that's ending up in your joints, your tendons, your ligaments, your muscles, and all of the other connective tissue that holds everything together. Also, the more tender the meat, because people love tender meat, the less the collagen. People don't like to chew the gristly, tough meat, but in reality, that's where you get a lot of collagen. Tenderness means low collagen, and people nowadays don't. Hey guys, Dr. Berg here. I want to talk about sagging skin, collagen, and digestion. There's many different aspects of collagen. I'm going to talk about the digestive angle. First of all, what is collagen? Collagen comes from the Latin word which means glue. It's the stuff that holds everything together. And yes, your hair is made of collagen, your nails, your skin, your muscles, but there's a lot of fascia, which is connective tissue around the organs, around the muscles, that hold everything in and protect everything nice and tight. You know, even keeps the muscles separated. The tendons, the ligaments, the arteries are made from collagen. Your eyes have collagen. The fluid inside the eyes have a lot of collagen. Your blood cells have collagen. 65% of your body is collagen. But here's what I'm finding out. With a lot of people, they're getting older and their collagen's kind of falling apart prematurely. And that is because I found an interesting connection between the digestion. See, when you actually eat collagen or eat protein, your body's supposed to turn the protein into collagen. But it takes a really acidic stomach to convert that process. So normally your stomach should be between 1 and 3, the pH being really, really acid. Neutral is 7. When you go lower, it's acid. You need like 1 to 3. So what's interesting is that when you're 20 years old, you have a certain amount of acid in your stomach, okay? As you age, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70s, look what happens. The pH of your stomach
goes down and down, and you lose the stomach acids. So when you're aged between 60 and 70, you basically have 25% of the acid that you had when you're 20. Now this is a huge connection that no one's talking about, because if you can't digest that collagen, the tissues become rigid. You lose like elasticity. You get high blood pressure. Everything starts sagging inside and out. So that's interesting. So what happens, the pH in the stomach is the thing that triggers the enzymes, the protein enzymes. Very powerful to be able to break down the food, turn it into collagen. So here's what I would recommend you do. If you have any type of collagen issues and digestive issues, fix the digestion, because then you'll start to absorb it versus trying to consume collagen from some powder, because you're not going to digest it anyway. Fix the digestion and then see if you can't pull it in from the food. There's many different collagen products out there, and I'll do a video on that, but the point is that if your stomach is not good, you're not going to pull it in. Apple cider vinegar with each meal, very, very important. Take some acidifier, betaine hydrochloride. There's different things that you can take to get your stomach acid. The other thing is, if your pH is too alkaline, you have to realize it's going to take a little time to build that back up. It's not a matter of just drinking one glass of diluted apple cider vinegar and then everything's fine. It's going to take months and months to build it up, because your pH has taken a long time to disappear to the point where you don't have that acidifiers anymore. In summary, if your digestion is not good, focus on that and you're going to see some great changes. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please click the share button below and I will see you in the next video.
Benefits of carnivore diet.
Benefits of carnivore diet.
Could eating only meat be the ultimate health hack or a recipe for long-term trouble? Today we're taking a deep dive into one of the most talked about trends in nutrition right now, the carnivore diet. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm Dr. John Chuback, and I'm a board-certified cardiovascular surgeon. My goal in this video is to help you understand what the carnivore diet really is, what people claim about it, what science actually supports, and what the risks may be, so you can make more informed decisions about your own health. Before we zoom in on the carnivore diet, let's take a quick step back. Diet culture has always loved extremes, from juice cleanses that promise detox to ketogenic plans that encourage almost pure fat. Restrictive eating patterns often go viral because they offer something simple, a single rule to follow, and a promise of total control. The carnivore diet is the latest in that long line. Its advocates claim that humans evolved to thrive exclusively on animal products, meat, fish, and animal fat, with no other need for plants. Followers describe it as the most ancestral and anti-inflammatory way to eat. But does that idea hold up when we compare it with human evolution, modern metabolism, and decades of nutritional science? Let's find out. Well, what exactly is the carnivore diet? At its core, the carnivore diet eliminates every plant-based food. No vegetables, no fruits, no grains, no legumes, no nuts or seeds. Followers eat only animal products, typically meat, fish, eggs, and in some cases small amounts of dairy. The approach is essentially zero carb, driving the body to rely almost entirely on fat and protein for fuel. Some versions of the diet are a bit looser, allowing coffee, tea, or spices. Others are extremely strict, permitting only red meat, water, and salt. Advocates often argue that this way of eating mirrors our Paleolithic ancestors. However, anthropological evidence paints a different picture. Early humans were omnivores who consumed a broad range of plants, roots, seeds, fruits, and animal foods. We're biologically adapted to digest both, not exclusively one or the other. In plain English, the human body is more like a hybrid engine than a diesel-only motor. It's built to run on multiple fuels.
For the camera. I just came outside, mowed the lawn. I'm sweating. Do my carnivore diet. Look at this. And I got some eggs on top of it. So protein, protein, protein. It will change your life. It's amazing. I don't have my shirt.
나 카니버 식단 다시 할 것 같아.
Mowed the lawn.
아토피가 안 나아지니까 나아지긴 했는데 손가락은 안 나아지니까 해야 될 것 같아.
When I first learned about the carnivore diet, I was positively overwhelmed by all the testimonies of those that had improved their health in many different areas. Starting this journey, my intention was just to feel better in certain components of my health. I had no idea the many different ways eating carnivore would greatly impact my life.
아, 카니버 식단 해야 돼. 아, 진짜.
As I always say, so simple, yet so effective. When I first learned about the carnivore diet, I was positively overwhelmed by all the testimonies of those that had improved their health in many different areas.
아, 돈이 얼마나 들까? 스테이크 몇 개 살려면. 스테이크. 소부채살. 비싸다. 사는 게 왜 이렇게 힘드냐. 다짐육 다 녹았나? 차갑다. 면도 안 했네.
That had improved their health.
Health benefits of raw meat.
헬스 베네피츠 오브 로미트.
This is a plate of raw. Hello everyone, and
생고기
welcome to
먹는 중.
Biohackers Lab. I'm your host, Gary Cohen, and on today's episode I have Andrew Graff. Andrew has a degree
생고기
in
먹는
entomology,
중.
which is someone who studies insects. However, we aren't going to be talking all about insects today, as Andrew is someone who practices a raw meat diet and has eaten an exclusive raw meat-only diet for the last 6 months. Andrew, thanks for coming on for an episode for today.
Thank you so much for having me on, Gary.
Yeah, so we didn't actually get a chance to chat at the recent Carnivory Con, which is a pity, and I only found out more about your way of eating from your tweets afterwards.
생고기가
I had a bad case
요거트처럼
of FOMO when I saw that, and I meant to
요거트처럼 좋은 박테리아가 많대요. 그래서
so yeah, if
좋대요.
anyone who hasn't seen your Twitter profile, you show
한번
both
해보려고.
video and imagery of how you literally eat only raw meat, and when we're talking raw, we're not even talking a little bit seared, it's raw.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's totally 100% raw, and it's, some people believe it's faked. It is hilarious on Twitter how many times I've had people, they won't accept what's right in front of them, and like, people can eat raw meat. I'm clear proof of that.
And that's why I wanted to have a discussion with you today, is to find out why did you go eventually down to raw meat only diet. So if you wouldn't mind, just tell people how you ended up maybe on a carnivore diet and eventually on a raw meat diet.
Okay, so I'll try to summarize this. It's been a long journey. Starting with high school. In high school, I clocked out around 300 pounds. I was massive. I'm probably going to have stretch marks for the rest of my life, no matter how healthy I get or what I do. And at reaching that size, I finally decided to do something about it, but I did it in every wrong way possible. At first I thought, oh, I can just exercise until the weight comes off, right? I can do whatever I want so long as I run a bajillion miles, you know. But of course that doesn't work. You're just slowly killing yourself in a sense. There's no nutrition. You're just degrading away. Like, okay, I'm going to calorie restrict. Well, a classic calorie restriction doesn't work because then you end up being hungry all the time and you binge and your weight just yo-yos over and over again. It's just, and of course, me having depression already, it's just a roller coaster. You think you're successful and you binge and it shoots off again. It's just this vicious cycle. Anxiety as well. And I tried things, every fad you could think of at the time. Like there's this thing called, I think it's coined the military diet. Like you wake up in the morning, like ate an egg and a grapefruit or something like that. And that was pretty much every meal. It was highly restrictive calories, but you're still eating something. And then there was just high carb.
카메라 화질이 좋았으면
And then veganism, did that for a month. That was a horrible mistake, especially for my digestive system, which is already bad as it was. So no person was meant to shoot that much much fiber through their body. At least not intentionally.
원주민들이 생고기를 먹는다는데
I did everything raw. Like people say
거기에
things, oh, you did
암이라는 용어가
I was
없대요.
basically following the top advice I understood.
사람들이 너무 건강해가지고.
After that, I discovered keto. This is in college time now. And at the time, I'm being athletic for the university.
갔다 온
I was a top
사람은
saber fencer, Olympic saber fencer for like 3
그러더라고.
years. And I was doing okay, but it wasn't really improving in my lean body mass. I wasn't really going anywhere. I still had a bunch of things like eczema. I was beginning to develop arthritis in my hands from the fencing as well on my hips too, which was starting to hurt. But still, I was able to persist with skill. But something was still wrong, of course. Keto was the first time I was losing weight, but I was getting healthier. It was this paradigm shift. In the past, I was basically losing weight at the expense of my health. This is all I cared about. And that kind of changed my perspective on everything. It's a vanity. You gotta let go of it at some point. But if you're dead, it doesn't matter how nice you are. So, with keto, I like to follow things to logical conclusion. I like philosophy as a hobby. I like to think. People like to think about the surface level of ideas. They don't always have to take it to the final conclusion. They like the initial
100% 목초 사육
but the logic
소고기
has to go
다진 거.
So with keto, the way I understood it was the improvements were based around the reduction of carbohydrates. Well, that's the whole
먹고
reason
있는
why
중.
my health's improving, at least for the most part, the principle. What happens when you take it to zero? And I'm like, okay, so type in zero
맛있으니까
carb
더
on Google.
사야지.
Turns out it's actually a catchphrase for carnivore.
싸니까 다행이네.
Which was, I had no clue this existed at the time. So I found that zero carb suburb. Like, there are people that eat only meat? This is insane. These people are nuts. You know, I start reading through this, and I'm like, but it's basically keto, but the end of keto. I mean, say for like, if you're drinking raw dairy, which I do at times, or liver, you're getting different types of carbohydrates and sugars, but virtually outside of that, it's nothing. It's just fat and protein. So I'm like, okay. Well, there's only one way to find out. I've done everything already. Might as well take the next experiment, right? And I spent those first 30 days. That was a suggestion. And this was before things, I kind of got into this before it took off, like trending-wise, so it was kind of weird seeing it take off while doing it. I was like, this is awkward, but it's working. So I spent the first 30 days. I was in College Station at the time, going to A&M. I didn't own a vehicle, so I walked everywhere. And I knew I couldn't trust myself with carbs because, you know, carb addiction. So I made it to where I didn't have access to anything other than meat. I forced it for a whole month. And I made it so hard because I'd have to walk everywhere in order to have access to something I shouldn't eat that it was too discouraging to do so. Because I'd be up in the morning at 5, I'd be swimming laps by 6 at the pool. And you're going to classes, you're going to work. I work in various labs, and I do weight training with the day. Then you come, after all the classes, then you do fencing for the university to train. Then you walk home, and you get home at like 11 o'clock. I thought it was the day for like several semesters. I worked out. So I didn't have a choice anymore. And after 30 days, I walk into HEB. HEB is like the Walmart of South Texas. It's much better in my
최강 선생님 자세요.
Walmart, but they offer more local stuff. I walk in there, and for the first
주무세요.
time in my life, I can walk into a store, a grocery store, and not
내일
get
일해야 되지 않나?
I could walk down the ice cream aisle. There was no appetite, no draw, no nothing. I could smell baked apple pie. I could smell the bakery. All these pleasant aromas, but there was no food association
자고
with
싶으면
them
자세요.
whatsoever.
그러면.
You could enjoy and appreciate them.
최강 선생님 알아서 할 거라고 믿을게요.
Mind blowing. It was like a new sense of freedom that I had never had before.
그러니까.
At the same time, while the meat was appetizing, I could walk away and go home without buying anything, knowing that I was going to be fine. Because a whole new relationship with food.
애기라고 안 불러서 삐진 거야.
Of course, with carnivore diet, I was lightly searing stuff in the beginning. I was already mostly a rare kind of guy. And over time, I cooked it less and less, and I noticed I liked it better less and less. There was something about it, some kind of positive feedback. It wasn't taste, it was a sense of well-being and health. And I started getting curious, why is this? I started asking around, looking, and from what I put together, it's because when you destroy food that you're cooking, you're actually changing the way your body's going to process it and be able to use it. So first off, if you think about that, when you're using a flame or heat, it's an indiscriminate use of heat or energy. There's nothing specialized about it. It's very different, say an enzyme inside your body trying to target a specific protein or a specific fat. That's a controlled process. It's very intentional. But with heat, it's just like a shotgun. Just see what happens and blow it up. Well, when that goes into your body, everything is like it's a chemical recognition. You're actually destroying the maximum yield that you can take from the meat. At the same time, because it was a living organism, those cells still have the ability to self-destruct themselves, apoptosis. They have enzymes of their own, and the bacteria that came with it, that was naturally occurring on there, was also trying to digest it, and they secrete their own enzymes. When you cook it, you destroy all of that, and you put all the demand on your body to use all of its resources it wouldn't always necessarily need to use. But on top of that, the yield has been reduced. So you're sapping more out of yourself for a taste. And it's just a night and day difference. And also, you eat less. So when you eat something raw, it's a different kind of taste. You're not tasting it for pleasure, but you're tasting it and getting an actual feedback from your body. And it's not distracting. That's why, like, you can consume sugar all you want, and you have to really go ham on the sugar before you feel sick necessarily, because you're having an overpowering stimulus that's preventing the feedback to tell you to stop. So when you're eating raw meat, you end up eating less because your needs are satisfied, and your body can better give a feedback to that. You'll know to stop. It's like telling you, do not continue with this, which is not a conscious thing. It's a feeling of satiety, especially with fat. And of course, I started finding other people doing raw meat, asking them questions. The things they'd tell me were just kind of reflecting what my own experience was. It was more of a validation to that, and I just kept on going. And it reminded me, actually, as a kid, I used to cook hamburgers on the grill for the family, and they always told me there can be absolutely no pink. It's dangerous. And I'm like, okay, I'm on a mission. My parents gave me this mission. I got to do this. So anytime there was pink, you got to take the spatula and cut it and take a peek and make sure, because the parents see pink, like, Andrew, you love some pink. Well, if I ever found one that was pink, my solution was to eat it myself, thinking I was like jumping on a grenade from my family. But for some reason, I preferred it that way. I liked it. It tasted better. I never understood why back then. But then looking back, like, maybe there's more to it than that. So there's a whole lot going on with the raw food versus cooked food. People can debate it all the time, but it's my stance that you're much better off eating the foods raw in terms of health. And you can dabble for tastes. At some point, you have to choose between those two. It's not always a mutually exclusive thing.
So it sounds like, you love experimenting with diets, and your primary goal there was the weight management. And by the time you were on carnivore, then your weight wasn't a particular issue, was it? Or was it still a bit of an issue for you?
Still pretty husky. I was like 230, 240. Because anything between then and the past, I was yo-yo. It didn't matter what I was doing. I was just making it worse. And there's no telling what damage I've done in the long run. So, I mean, your guess is as good as mine. What's actually wrong in the long term. So.
And so even there, so with that 30-day experiment of when you first started carnivore, then, so it sounds like it took when you went into the grocery store and you smelled that apple pie. That was after a month of being carnivore.
Yes, and that's after I was keto for a year, and then I did carnivore. And even imagine that you're already low carb on keto. You think you're fat adept, then you try carnivore. Ooh, the carb beam really comes out. Because with the keto, there's a thing it's called the keto recipe black hole. Because you set this bar, it's like you can't have any carbs above this limit, but you can have whatever you want so long as it reaches that bar, results in this massive black hole of trying to imitate all the foods you shouldn't be eating. You stare at them all day, you stare at recipes all day, you become obsessed with it because you're chasing what you're restricting and addicted to. And that's all gone.
And so, as you said, you tried raw veganism for a month, and your digestive system said, "Yeah, don't do that."
It was already bad. It got much worse.
Yeah.
TMI, but when you go to do what you need to do, it doesn't come out without excruciating pain and the feeling like you're going to implode.
But what was your trigger then that made you think you need to then take your carnivore cooked meat to raw meat? Was there something in that process, or was there someone on that subreddit, or that
It was a combination. Just my observation. I was cooking it less and less, and I feel better doing so. It's like anytime I cook it more, it's more like a drag. Like you're being slowed down a little bit, which even at a time, like even with it being cooked compared to eating any other way, you already feel like $1 million. It's like now you're like $1,500,000 on top of that. You know, it's like that extra little step.
So what was the meat that you started first with raw then?
Okay, so I was in a fortunate situation. At Texas A&M, they actually have a meat center that sells poultry, pork, and beef from local farms, and helps support the academic institution itself that teaches animal science. And they were selling chuck roast at $2.99 a pound. And they were primal
보고
cuts. You could
싶어요.
just walk in and
제가
walk out with them. So I was basically picking one a day. It's like 3 to 4 pounds. That was my daily food. And because I was already doing OMAD, on keto, I was on OMAD for the longest time. I was already used to it because I didn't have time during the day. I explained my schedule. There's no way you're going to sit down and eat until you get home. And I just go home and I'd
저 병원 일주일에 2번 간다고
and eventually I just stopped. So I
뭐
remember the first time I went full raw.
저
I was also doing ground beef.
돈 때문에 걱정하지 말아요.
After I get like 2 pounds of it, and you
샤워실 보는 게 저한테 힘이 돼요.
sear it for like a minute or two on each side, but the inside is still cool and raw. That tasted really good. But the best part wasn't the crisp on the outside, it was the middle. I don't understand, like, why am I still cooking it the other way
돈도
around?
남아 돌고.
And from there, the first time I went full raw on one of those chuck roasts, like on anything, I was working in an office. Imagine an office so small, the person you're working with, you're back to back, and there's a door. That's the whole office. I was 3D modeling bullet ants from CAT scans, helping a professor on a project. But that day he wasn't in the office, so I brought in this chuck roast primal. And see, no one comes to this office, so I can be safe in doing this. Like, you know what, I'm going to eat this thing raw with my bare hands. We're just going to get this over with. And I'll never forget that experience, because I knew every time I looked up, like, I hope no one opens that door and walks in here, because they're going to see an animal barehanded. Because chuck can be a little tough. I'm just pulling it apart. And life
진도가 너무 느려.
Okay, so that chuck gave you the confidence that actually I'm good, because did you know, the first question a lot of people ask after they've asked why is just the concern factor of like, are you not concerned for your health? Because as you mentioned earlier with your family saying you must always cook it so that it's not raw inside.
I'm going to start with, I think we live in an overly hygienic society. And because of that, we are missing out on immune benefits, things that we were exposed to all the time, which are meant to be normal. And also, the way that we eat can inhibit our immune system. It starts with the gut. So people eating a high plant-based diet all the time, or eating a lot of carbs, different things other than, say, meat, they're raising the pH of their stomach acid. And when you eat that in combination with foods that have been tainted, which typically are plants like lettuce and other things you see with salmonella all the time, because your stomach acid pH isn't as low as it should be, more things get through. That's why people get food poisoning. You allow a bacterial load that shouldn't have survived.
Nowadays, everyone who's trying to lose weight or lean max are going about it the complete wrong way. They tend to cut calories, exercise more, maybe hop on something like retatrutide, or if they're more serious, maybe crystal meth, all in an attempt to lower their calories and burn more energy than they're currently ingesting. Don't get me wrong, initially this approach will work. You can see the number on the scale go down, but long term you can have some serious issues. Firstly, with this approach, you're always going to be noticing that energy is going to tank, hormones will tank, so libido will go down. You're certainly not going to be waking up any morning with your ambition, motivation, and focus day to day will drop and fall fall off a cliff, and then all the while your stress and cortisol is going to shoot through the roof. You may even get some stress symptoms such as dark eye circles, acne, increased rates of hair loss. And then ultimately, the major flaw with the whole approach of just forcing yourself to eat less, exercise more, hopping on some peptides or drugs, is that it requires discipline, which I'd say discipline is the number one sign that you are actually harming your body. What this means is that with these approaches, you leave the body in a nutritionally deprived and malnourished state, which is why you have such strong cravings and such strong nervous system irritation signs. So yeah, basically what I'm saying is that you need to be losing weight while keeping the body nourished, while also actually understanding the mechanism and the role that fat actually plays in the body. It's not just there as an energy store, but it actually does multiple things, from storing and mitigating fat-soluble toxin damage to obviously storing energy to even curbing and mitigating detox symptoms. So yeah, if it wasn't clear, number one dumbest thing you can do is senselessly starve yourself while exercising more. It's going to fuck up your body, it's going to fuck up your appearance, it's going to actually leave you more prone to putting on even more weight in the future as a protective mechanism. So in this very video, I'm going to show you guys and talk you through my exact approach for lean maxing, getting lean, lowering your body fat percentage, looking better aesthetically, obviously cutting essentially in a healthier and even easier way, where your body is not going to feel chronically starved and feel like it wants to kill itself 24/7. First thing that I need you guys to understand fully is that the fat on your body is not just for storing energy. What it also does essentially in this modern day and age, when we're surrounded by industrial toxins and pollutants, is that the fat actually stores and binds to fat-soluble toxins. So I'm talking about hormone-disrupting chemicals, environmental residues, and inflammatory byproducts. In the body, these chemicals are obviously irritating, they're acidic, they are neuroagitating, and they are endocrine disrupting, and even a lot of them can be carcinogenic. So understanding fat plays a very important role in actually protecting your body, so your nervous system, your brain, your internal organs, from actually being exposed to said toxins. Same way, like when you go to buy some beef, I always recommend buying grass-fed organic beef, because they're not actually going to be fed, obviously, any low-quality feed. They're not going to be medicated, so there won't be any toxins stored in the fat. But if you are going to be having some lower-quality beef, then you can feel free to just eat the muscle cuts, avoiding the fat, because there will be a significantly lower level of said toxins in the muscles versus the fats. We're like cows in that we store our toxins in our fats. They're there, or the fat is there, and we use the fat as a protective mechanism. Some common symptoms and signs of like excess toxicity circulating throughout your body would just be irritability, anxiety, chronic stress, poor skin, so like chronic acne breakouts, cystic acne especially, shows that you have like a low level of adequate raw fats to bind to and mitigate the toxins that are actually perspiring by your skin. That's why the acne is really red and inflamed, because the perspiring toxins are actually damaging your skin. So then now actually understanding this, understanding the role that fat plays in the body, we can then infer that when we lose a lot of fat rapidly, or we know this anyway, but when we lose a lot of fat rapidly, all these toxins, they get released into the blood and into the body very, very quickly. So when people go on really aggressive fasts, such as a dry fast or water fast, what we notice is they are far more likely to see the symptoms ranging from like the nervous system issues, so the irritability, anxiety, depression, to like the skin issues as well, to the chronic cystic acne, and even like premature hair thinning and hair loss, because they're dropping all the weight, all the toxins are being released, and they don't have anywhere to go. They don't have any actual influx of nutrients or adequate high quality nutrients to bind to and mitigate the damage that these toxins will cause in the body. Now, interestingly, what this then does is when you lose a lot of weight, your body is going to be in a very stressed and high anxiety state. So when you actually then switch back to regular food consumption, eating your normal diet, your body is going to eat an excess as a protective defense mechanism because of the damage you caused your body, your cells, your organs on a previous weight loss cut. This is shown as a downregulated metabolism, elevated stress hormones even after you've started eating normally, and essentially just a hormonal composition that is now designing your appetite and your eating habits to overshoot your healthy weight composition, so you can feel more secure and stable. So understanding this and understanding that fat is an essential nutrient that we do need for stable and healthy energy as well as our hormonal health, it then becomes even more clear why the weight parameters and our understanding of what is a healthy weight nowadays are completely off. To be completely frank, if you're putting on weight through high quality foods, like all the raw foods that I preach, high quality raw dairy, high quality raw organic grass-fed beef, if you're putting on your weight through those foods, the quality of weight and the quality of the fats are going to be exponentially higher than things from fast food or junk food. So I would genuinely say, although obviously I don't admit, I lean max to a degree for the sake of social media, for the sake of my personal brand, for the sake of maybe looking good for the opposite sex, but objectively it is 100% healthier to have a healthy amount of body fat through putting on that weight from the high quality raw foods. You're going to be protecting your body from all the toxins you're exposed to on a daily basis. Your hormones are going to be optimized, and your libido will probably even be significantly higher. It also means that if you aren't actively, or you don't have the luxury of actively doing a lot of detox protocols for clearing out a lot of waste and toxins in your body via various raw foods or via other protocols I recommend, such as the hot bath protocol. You are going to be more prone to feeling that nervous system agitation and stimulation because you're not actually removing the toxins and they're just staying circulating in the body as you don't have enough fat to bind to them. So right now, maybe I'm like 10% body fat. Healthier weight would probably be even 15 to 25, like in that range. That would be healthier. But I'll also say, I mean, I've done the due diligence of like going through the trials and tests of being on the raw diet for the last 5 years. So I've already gotten out a lot of toxins, and compared to like the average person, it's not as much of a necessity for me to have a surplus of weight. That's not me just saying that to like cut out the competition. I'm genuinely saying
전
that.
최강생하고
women,
자는
healthy body
건
weight would be like 18,
결혼할 때까지
24% plus.
기다릴래요.
Even aesthetically, like those could be the aesthetic ranges, but what you notice is
특별하게
when you
만들고
put on weight
싶어요.
by the raw foods, even it's going to be a lot denser. It's going to be more visceral fat. Even it's going to be more in and
그러니까
around your
이상한 거
organs.
바라지
So that's one
말아요.
benefit. So aesthetically, you know, you want to be 15 to 25% as a guy, 18 to 30% as a girl. But in terms of truly measurable amounts of fat in the body, it's actually going to be an even higher percentage because high quality raw fat, raw saturated animal fat is going to be denser. It's going to find itself more around your internal organs. Okay, so now we've covered the basics. We actually understand the exact purpose and role of fat in the body, why it's so important, and why we actually need to lose weight carefully. The next thing I'll tell you guys is what the diet should be so the weight can drop off, but so you're also not going to be risking excessive damage to your body, which would leave you looking like shit and feeling like shit. The main thing I'll recommend, the main protocol, is going to be the egg fast protocol. So literally just having raw eggs throughout the day. Actually, let me get my eggs. So just having some raw eggs throughout the day, 1 to 2 raw eggs every time you feel hungry, just to curb your appetite and your cravings. Raw eggs, if you've never had them before, are extremely satiating. They obviously have every single nutrient that we need to thrive and stay healthy. They also have like adequate raw fats so that our body will have the right binders and solvents to remove and get out all the toxins that are being released from our fat. But they're decently easy to consume as well. And when you're doing a complete egg fast, you're going to tend to have maybe 20 to 30 raw eggs in a day. So you wake up first thing in the morning, maybe just have 1 or 2 eggs, and then when appetite begins to come in a few hours later, 1 or 2 more raw eggs, same thing on repeat, and then you notice that you're going to be eating significantly less than what you usually would. But by fact of the raw eggs being complete foods, having all of the fat-soluble vitamins we need, having all the cholesterol, having water-soluble vitamins, as well as just like good proteins, they're going to leave us completely satisfied on our micronutrient level, while also being in a caloric deficit. Obviously calories aren't real, but in terms of like ingesting less energy than we're burning, we certainly will be doing that, so our physical weight and mass will drop off. What you can also do is have like a small cube or small piece or bite of like raw meat as well, like fatty raw meat I recommend, so you're actually getting a lot of nutrition in it, and just doing that same thing, having a bite while you're hungry, just to curb your hunger and appetite, and then only eating again when you're very hungry. That may be in like another hour, another 2 hours, whatever, but you'll notice you're going to be eating far less when you're actually using this strategy. It certainly will require discipline. If you don't love raw eggs right away, you do need to make sure you're getting the highest quality raw eggs. They do taste the best, the yolk's going to be as rich as possible. The same thing goes for the meat, so it will require an element of discipline / getting used to, but it's not like you're going to be constantly starving and actually forcing yourself to neglect cravings. You can indulge in them as limited to having some raw eggs. The other great thing about the raw eggs and raw fatty meat is that it's going to increase your insulin sensitivity. It's going to increase your leptin sensitivity, especially if you're having a decent amount of fats in the body. It's not going to be spiking any blood sugar, any
손하고
dopamine, any cortisol, where
발가락
you're
몇
forced, your
개만
body will
있어.
crave or want to overeat or
아토피가.
overindulge. Super important when
다른
you're
데는
doing the
없고.
egg and meat fast, not having any carbohydrates, so no fruit, no cooked starches.
발가락엔 거의
insulin
없고
spikes and lead you to
손만
overeating.
그래.
And for the
손.
most part, they are just empty calories. So fruit can be good for hydration purposes, but it's not actually going to be giving you a comprehensive amount of micronutrients you need to stay healthy and to maintain your health whilst in weight loss. What I would also recommend that you guys add into this diet protocol, because understanding toxins are being released from our stored fats into the blood, into the digestive tract, into the lymph, it's important to counteract the acidic nature of said toxins to have a level of alkaline food. So what I recommend, simply having 1 larger peeled cucumber a day. So peeling the cucumber, having that maybe with some of your meat or some of the eggs, and that will just add in a level of alkalizing hydration that will keep you balanced and will curb any like agitation, any overstimulation, or any like damage as well. Like it will help prevent any skin breakouts or hair loss as well. So having that level of alkalinity. So even like you could have multiple cucumbers a day. It's whatever. They're very obviously like calorie light. You're not going to be putting any weight on from them, but they'll also keep you hydrated. They'll keep you refreshed. So yeah, have plenty of peeled cucumber. Next thing that I could recommend whilst you're doing the weight loss protocol would be doing the hot bath protocol simultaneously. So if you don't know, that is basically just filling up a bathtub to about 41 degrees Celsius, adding about a glass of raw milk, a few tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, a handful of sea salt, and then getting in the bath and sweating out a ton of toxins. It's basically like a sauna, except it's not going to be damaging your hair and your mucous membranes and lungs, which saunas do, because you're inhaling a lot of those like dissolved aerated pollutants from like the tap water that's been now turned into steam. Obviously that gets in your hair, gets in your lungs, can damage you a lot and harm you a lot. So it's basically just sweating out toxins, which when you're mobilizing a lot of toxins through the weight loss, sweating them out is a good way to remove them and get rid of any excess to again curb like those side effects and the potential risks that do occur when toxins are just circulating in you. Because yeah, I mean, people go two routes. Obviously mainstream weight loss approach, they drop the weight but they don't remove the toxins, and then the better approach is we drop the weight and then we remove the toxins by adding in alkalizing foods, adequate fats like raw fats, and then also doing some hot baths. In addition, the hot baths can actually mobilize your lymphatic system, which will help with the whole weight loss and with the whole toxin removal process as well, to prevent any acne breakouts, any hair loss or hair thinning. So super important. Infinite reasons I could actually list, but for weight loss I would say it's crucial. Another thing also to do whilst you're in the hot bath, make sure you keep the head cool. So get a bucket of ice water, put a rag in it, wet the rag, put that on your head, and you stay in the bath for at minimum, if you're very thin, 20 minutes. If you've got more weight on you, you can be in there for 60 minutes, 90 minutes plus, just as long as you're obviously not killing yourself, not pushing yourself to the point of fainting. After the bath, I recommend you rehydrate with some peeled cucumber. You could have like a glass or cup or two of raw milk. That would be really good as well. You can have some raw meat, have some eggs. Don't deprive yourself of too many nutrients post-bath, because you're also going to be burning calories in the bath. You're going to be sweating out water retention. So the worst thing you could do actually would be like completely deprive yourself of any nutrition post-bath. So getting some raw eggs in, for example, would be really good, because you add in more raw fats to also bind to any toxins that are going to be circulating internally after the bath. Now, next thing to focus on for this protocol is going to be your light environment, making sure your circadian inputs are on point. What I'm talking about is getting morning sunlight every single day, so the morning light is actually going to be hitting your retina, hitting the melanopsin receptors in your eyes, and signaling to our internal neurological clock what time of the day it is. That then subsequently sets our leptin sensitivity, insulin sensitivity, and cortisol for the day, meaning you're not going to be chronically stressed and subsequently have some chronically high appetite. So you get a ton of morning sunlight, you get your eyes, skin, face, balls into the sun every single morning, you are going to keep your body more regulated and you're not going to have any excess stress cravings. If you didn't know, leptin is a hormone that regulates the amount of fat your body is storing as well as your appetite. So if we're going to become more sensitive to the amount of leptin our body is secreting, then naturally we're not going to be in any excess of appetite or fat accumulation even. So what I recommend every single morning, doing an hour walk outside in the sun, in the sunrise, shirt off, eyes in the sun obviously, getting sunlight onto your skin, into your eyes, and then also going on the walk, because that can be a really easy way to be in a caloric deficit. Getting a bit of movement as well is not going to hurt you, as long as it's like low stress, easy movement. It's not going to put you in some sort of chronically stressed state that will need you to overeat or overindulge or binge to bring you back to baseline. And then furthermore, in regards to the circadian rhythm habits, get a pair of red blue light blocking glasses. Let me just get mine. Get a pair of red blue light blocking glasses to wear at nighttime post sunset, so artificial blue light exposure is not going to be chronically spiking your cortisol at night, which, if you didn't know, will subsequently spike appetite, causing you to overeat and become fat as fuck. So get a pair of red blue light blocking glasses. What I'd also recommend is putting some red filters on your phones, changing like the lighting in your home to natural lighting. Also covering up your skin at night if you are around artificial lighting, because you do have photoreceptors in your skin that are going to be sensitive to blue light. Interesting point to back it up if you didn't realize. This is the reason why night shift workers have some of the highest rates of obesity and weight gain. It's because they are chronically exposed to artificial blue light and have high levels of cortisol at the wrong time of the day, so it fucks them up. Cause them to get fat as fuck and to have all sorts of like metabolic disease as a result, which you don't want. The other thing I'd recommend, don't eat too late at night. So this kind of doesn't really matter if you're doing the egg fast / meat fast, but if you're eating normally, if you're eating like a regular diet and you're just trying to like cut down a little bit and lose a little bit of weight, you wouldn't want to eat anything past sunset, because that can also cause you to overeat, overindulge, and also can throw off your digestion, ruin your sleep. All of these things mess up your leptin sensitivity even. So what I recommend, if you're doing the egg fast though, it doesn't really matter, because the eggs digest of their own enzymes. Same thing with the meat. It's not going to be so serious if you have those later at night before bed, as long as they are in smaller portions, like 2 eggs or just a bite or like a golf ball size piece of meat. Yeah, guys, that is everything I would like you to know about how to lose weight healthily. Remember, fat is healthy in the body, so first of all, you should be getting fat. I'm not fat, so I can't tell you explicitly, but fat is important, so respect the role of fat and understand that when you do lose weight, you need to be getting adequate nutrition and you need to be removing and neutralizing said toxins via the hot bath, via the alkalizing foods, so you actually mitigate any damage and harmful effects that would occur. And then 2, make sure you're losing weight in a way where all of your micronutritional bases are still covered. So don't do any retatrutide bullshit, don't take any crystal meth, don't do any forced fasting where it's like completely done out of discipline. Do the egg fast, do the raw meat fast, have some alkalizing foods, have like a glass or cup of raw milk here or there. You're still going to be in a deficit and your body will feel a lot better. You won't feel stressed, you won't look like shit, and you'll actually be able to maintain that new baseline weight that you set because you didn't completely fuck up your metabolism in the process. But yeah, guys, hope that helps. If you do want even more help with, say, your weight loss goals or optimizing your energy, focus, health, longevity for whatever reasons, I do have a one-on-one program. That's something you can find out more about in the first link in the description of this video. If you want to know where I got these glasses, I got them from Temu, and you can just search up Fight Club glasses. It costs about $2. Yeah, thanks.
Oh, wow.
My name is Angelus Logic Planets. I got into health because I was born a very sickly child into a fairly healthy household. And when I was born 18 months after a brother who was still in diapers when I was home from the hospital. The parents were happy for me to take all away from mom. So he made sure that I suffered for 15 and a half years before I went off to the Vietnam War. So he pushed me on anything rusty, rakes, nails, anything that was painful can be taken to the hospital, like get injections and penicillin. And that drug that they give for
원장님이 저 싫어하는 것 같아.
Only been doing this 100% raw diet from Augenus's information, Augenus Wonder Planets from We Want to Live, for about a year and 4.5 months. I did, over the course of 10 years, I did a lot of colon cleansing because I found myself to be needing to do that to detoxify. I studied iridology. I used to teach iridology, which is analyzing eyes. And I very much wanted to experiment, how I could get myself to the pinnacle of health. So detoxifying with bentonite clay, colon cleansing was a big part of what I did for myself. And I studied a lot about parasitology. I did a lot of cleansing of parasites. And I thought that would be a pinnacle, to just take it to the nth degree, doing all the herbs, doing all the cleansing. And in the meantime, I was on a mostly raw diet, about 60 to 70% raw diet, but I was doing mostly vegetarian. I would do a little bit of eggs, but I would soft boil my eggs, things like that. And
원장님이
finally, I realized that the path I was on was not really giving me all the strength and all the health that I believed was possible for me. And I started watching some of my friends eating this raw diet and watched them change right before my very eyes in a matter of 6 months. And I was absolutely amazed at how quickly they used. The way they looked younger, they were happier, they were healthier. on was not really giving me all the strength and all the health that I believed was possible for me. And I started watching some of my friends eating this raw diet and watched them change right before my very eyes in a matter of 6 months. And I was absolutely amazed at how quickly they used. The way they looked younger, they were happier, they were healthier. And so I jumped in, even though I had a phobia about the parasite thing. And since then I have been, reading and studying and learning, and I realized I just had a few things switched around backwards. Now, my individual constitution is one in Ayurveda called Vata, because I really did cleanse a lot of fat out of my body that I needed, healthy fat. So that's been a big healing for me. And in the beginning of doing the all-raw diet, especially with all the raw fat, the wonderful raw milk and raw cream, my liver went through a huge healing. I no longer craved alcohol and chocolate. And I feel very satisfied with everything that I'm eating. And I've learned ways to prepare everything, and it tastes really good to me. And because I've been educating myself, I've been really not worried about the bacteria and the parasites. I know that those things can be a healer in the body. And I believe that the parasites really are just in the body because they're cleaning up. That would be one role. I believe there could be other roles that the parasites have in the body. Certainly, I do believe now that the bacteria is a healer. It's a part of who I am because I'm alive. And I'm really glad that I found this path. I feel really good. And another main point for me is that I was born with a genetically weak pancreas, so everything that I was eating from the moment I was born, I couldn't digest it. And, my body adapted over time, but ultimately I have not been able to digest easily unless the food is all raw, because then it has the enzymes. So now, when I eat, I don't have indigestion, which is really wonderful. I mean, I find it allows me to be much happier, just, relax a lot. Okay, thanks.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I've been learning and involved in eating this way for about 5-6 months. And I did not have a life-threatening illness, but I had minor health concerns that could grow into something major later, like hypoglycemia, pancreas, low thyroid function, uterine fibroids. My lymphatic system was really compromised, which I could tell because I didn't sweat very much, and I would get swollen glands a lot, and I'd always be taking vitamins because I felt like I was catching cold all the time. And ever since I started incorporating these foods into my diet, I never ate very much carbohydrates because of the hypoglycemia, and also I always felt like I needed a lot of protein. I was always craving protein. Ever since I've been eating raw meat and raw pasteurized milk and raw honey, my blood sugar is balanced. I don't get swollen lymph glands anymore. I was having some feminine bleeding that just totally stopped, which also the free vegetable juice is a supplement, a vitamin nutritional supplement on this program. Has helped with that also, and overall my health has been, I've been feeling a little bit different, just like a little bit more kind of well-being, more kind of even keeled, that kind of thing. So I'm still learning a lot and experimenting like everybody.
Macrobiotic Bible at the time. Freaked out, went on brown rice, and became a vegetarian. I was pretty obnoxious too, because I would tell everybody else that they should only eat brown rice. And like many of us, I've not only been a nutritional seeker, been a spiritual seeker. At times it seemed the two kind of went together. And I've just been on so many different paths that every single system that I had worked with ultimately was somewhat of... Every system that I had worked with was ultimately came to be some kind of dead end for me, where I didn't really get where I was hoping I would get to. I was always struggling, and I'd worked with so many practitioners and so many herbalists and homeopathists and acupuncturists and Rolfers and Reiki people, and I was still just, didn't have good energy, could never gain any weight at all. Bad allergies, hypoglycemic, hypothyroid, and so a breakthrough for me was 3 years ago when I met Ajahn. Ajahn is the author of the book We Want to Live, which is, the book about the system that we're talking about, the system of health and nutrition. And when I saw him, he said, dude, you are starved for protein and you're starved for fat. And I said, how could that be? Because I'm eating protein and fat all day long. And he said, yes, but you need raw. You have to have, your body is not metabolizing cooked proteins and cooked fats. And he said, I want you to start having raw milk, raw cream, raw cheese, and raw butter. And I said, you're nuts, because that's just going to make me sick. Because I was one of those, as probably some of you are or have been, one of those non-dairy people that dairy is evil and dairy is mucus and it's going to make you really sick and screw you up. And if I ever saw anybody who had a cold or a flu, I'd say, oh, you've probably been eating cheese. And so I said, Ajahn, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I will try it, but I don't know how it's going to work for me. He said, just take it, a little bit at a time. But within a month, I was eating all the butter and cheese and cream and milk that I could have, and it was fantastic. It was like getting liberated. It was getting out of prison. Like, oh gosh, I could have this creamy stuff. And it started, as thin as I still am, I actually started gaining weight, and I've gained about 13 pounds. And I hope to gain another, several pounds. We'll see what happens. But just for me to gain 1 pound at all was just a godsend, unbelievable, amazing feat. Because prior to this, I was trying everything, every pill, protein powder program, scientific this, that, gain weight, carnitine, whatever. Nothing was working. I even would, yes, and besides that, I would also, I even tried like eating a pint of Haagen-Dazs every night before I went to bed for 2 months. And nothing, not a pound, nothing. So there was some wisdom here that just made a difference. It was so fascinating to me that it could be, so near and yet so far. It's like all these experts that I've been consulting and paying a lot of money to just never got it. Something that Ajahn told me was the key, and all these other people missed it somehow, and I just find it almost, in retrospect, I find it almost, irresponsible of them, in that, they have studied, and now people are paying them money for nutritional advice, and they're missing this absolutely fundamental principle of health, that our bodies need raw protein and raw fat. I will also share with you that, people talk about the issues of parasites, and they'll say, oh, you eat raw eggs, you eat raw meat. Every single time I mention to anyone who's not initiated into this teaching in any way, they just flip out and they're like, oh my God, you must be getting sick all the time. But I will tell you, I am a guy I do have a very sensitive digestive system. If I go on a trip to Mexico with 10 people, and nobody gets sick except me because I ate a taco or whatever in Mexico. So, or I remember going on a hike 3 years ago, I think it was, with a group of several people, and we finally made it to the top of the mountain, and there was this natural spring there, and everybody was like, oh my God, this is as clear and as pure as water can possibly be. This is so wonderful. So everybody drank of that spring, and I was the only guy that got sick. I got some parasite or something, Giardia or some friggin' thing. So, but I'm sharing that with you to demonstrate that I have a very sensitive digestive system, and I have been on this diet for 3 years, and I have never, ever once gotten sick from eating raw meat or raw chicken or raw fish. So that's saying a lot. And I will say that I'm tremendously grateful to Price, Pottinger, Ogenus, Owanza, all the people who contributed to this system of understanding the human body and nutrition. And I encourage anyone who hasn't checked it out to go for it. You don't have to jump in with both feet right away, but definitely check it out. It is well worth your while. And I think if you're a seeker of health and you're not experiencing the health that you'd like to experience, you're a damn fool if you don't. Thank you.
This night, like 3 months ago or something. Well, and 100%. Well, yeah. And I have Crohn's disease, which is kind of like an ulcerish stomach thing where like you get like really, really, really bad stomach aches and like I don't know, all the side effects and stuff. And I was on like a really high amount of prednisone, just like steroids, and like Imuran and stuff. And so like then like I met Ogenus through Erica, and like my mom was so like happy about it, and so we tried it out. And at first I was like really into it and stuff, but then I started to get like really sick of it, and I was like I felt a lot better and everything, but I was like all my friends were eating like McDonald's and stuff, and I was like really sad. And so then I just like saw that, I was like losing weight and gaining weight and losing weight and all this really weird stuff. And so, but I just felt 100% better. And I was planning on like getting off my pills like this week, right? And like I didn't tell my parents or anything, but like I stopped taking them like 3 weeks ago. And like I've been fine and stuff, and I didn't like, they didn't even like know, and they would always be like, oh, my dad, who isn't like all great with the diet, he was like, oh, you're just fine because of the pills and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah. So I just like think I feel way better, and I think it's really good for any
years now. I'm 38 years old. My history is chronic fatigue, and it dates back to when I was a child. Before the age of 10, I had migraines, very low energy. I was always sick. As far back as I can remember, I was a basic asthma hound chihuahua for the most part, and have been searching. I had searched for 25 years for something that would help me. So I've tried pretty much everything, including going to Mexico for treatments down there. Also the gamut of diets. I've tried just about everything, including vegetarian diet, a modified macrobiotic diet that I was on for about a year, and actually went down to about 120 pounds. When I met Ogenus, I was about 135 pounds. As I sit here today, I'm 175 pounds from this diet. It's mostly muscle mass. The physiological transformation on this diet, for me, is nothing short of astounding. When I started the diet, I was up in San Jose, and I came down to visit my family after about 5 or 6 months, and I remember my brother said, he goes, hey, you're working out. And I go, no, I'm not. He goes, yeah, you are. And I go, no, well, I'm not. He goes, yeah, you are. That's how you look when you work out. My arms were much bigger, and I filled in so well. So the transformation has just been incredible, and it's been 3 years. I've eaten all of my animal protein raw, and have had no side effects from it. And I have a level of health now that I have never enjoyed my entire life. It's just worked very well for me. And I encourage you, if you are thinking about this diet, to give it a try. And like Brian said, it's not anything you have to jump into, but there definitely is something behind this. So I would encourage you to explore it and check out and see if it's something that will work for you. And I can't
I can't sing the praises enough. It's just really made an incredible difference in my life. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Erica Schmidt, and I, like everyone else here, had various health problems for many years.
Varieties.
When I was 21 years old, I'm 38 now, when I was 21 years old, I was diagnosed with a type of arthritis that was so rare at the time that the doctor that diagnosed it had to look it up in his book, and it was called Reiter's syndrome. And it's an autoimmune deficiency, and it involves inflammation of your iris, inflammation that travels to various parts of your body, and I asked my doctor at that time whether my diet, had anything to do with what I was experiencing, and of course he said no. Which I knew right then and there that I didn't want to go back and see him because I wasn't really that into medical doctors anyway at that point. When I was 17 years old, I decided I wanted to be a vegetarian because I just wasn't feeling good anyway. I had problems probably my whole life as well. Headaches when I was a child, never ever able to digest any kind of like dairy or any kind of carbs really. And so I lived with this for about 17 years, with the arthritis. And at first they had me on, steroids and antibiotics and all that. I only took them for a few months because I realized that was the road that I wanted to go, and so I tried all the other things, herbs and everything, colonics, everything that's out there, I tried it. And nothing really made that much difference except maybe temporarily. And then I met a girl named Megan and Ramen. And I was at a party and Ramen was eating his raw meat, and I found it to be really interesting because I actually grew up eating a little raw meat because my parents are European, so they eat like steak tartare. And then we were talking a little bit about the book and oddness, and then Megan told me she ate raw chicken, and I thought she was crazy. I was like, oh my God. And she just kept telling me, I can't explain it, you just have to read the book. And I'd ask her more questions, and she would just say, you have to read the book, I can't really explain it. The whole like bacteria thing and all that freaked me out. And at that point I wasn't a vegetarian any longer, so eating the meats didn't bother me. It was just raw chicken. It was mostly raw chicken. I ate a lot of sushi anyway, and the meat wasn't that big a deal. But the best thing for me was the raw dairy products. I drank like 3 smoothies a day for like 8 months because I was like so happy that I could, have cheese and milk and all that stuff that my body just could not digest. And it's interesting how the whole world is lactose intolerant, but no one will try raw milk. It's like, duh. And so I've been on it now for about a year and a half, and in the very beginning I noticed that I wasn't doing 100% raw foods. I was kind of like 50%. I noticed that whenever I did eat, even starches, which I couldn't digest at all, they actually, I was having an easier time digesting really pretty much anything, which leads me to believe that my digestive tract was probably just a wreck. And I think that the dairy products really helped heal whatever was going on in there that was causing the inflammation and probably everything that was going on. So that was really nice to see that happening, and that was probably why I decided to continue on this path. I was like James and jumped right in.
ate everything raw. I did a little at a time, and you know, socially it's very difficult. So I would go out with my friends and eat regular food and feel awful after doing it for too long, and then go back, and then just, you know, kind of took my time, and you know, I'm pretty much raw now, like 100%, except for I still use a little soy sauce on my fish sometimes with my wasabi. But I'm working on that.
Okay, out.
With my wasabi. 100%, except for I still use a little soy sauce on my fish sometimes with my wasabi. But I'm working on that.
Okay, out.
Later, we're going to go into more about like the content of their diet, but so we'll address that later. Go ahead.
And that's pretty much it. So now here I am, and still learning. I feel marvelous.
Better question is, how many people know nothing about this, and if not, then do a raw food diet at all? Can you raise your hand? One. Thank you. 3. I came to the diet, I was very ill back in, I'd been a healthy child as much as I knew, and in 1996 I started losing a tremendous amount of weight, became chronically fatigued. I started to seek out all the best medical doctors in New York City. I saw the best tropical medicine doctor and yeast doctors, and they were trying to tell me what the problem was, and they really didn't know. They took blood tests. They said, well, your white cell count's low and your red cell count's low, and we really don't know what's wrong. And it was not long after that that I kind of left that path and started searching elsewhere. Intuitively, I always had an idea that there had to be a way to eat that could actually heal the body without having to take supplements and other kinds of things, but I hadn't come across that yet. I guess I didn't look deep enough. But I also didn't feel very well, so at that time I weighed about 130 pounds. Actually, I was around 128. My lowest was 123. It was a rough go during that time. I'm really not sure actually how I made it all the way to this point. I was only so fortunate that a friend who I was taking classes with, I'm studying Chinese medicine and acupuncture right now, he put a book on my desk. We didn't really even know each other, more of an acquaintance than anything. And he just turned around and he just put it there. He didn't even say anything. And I started reading it, and it made tremendous sense to me. You know, I'm really grateful for that, actually. Because that day I went out to the store and I got myself some meat and some cheese, and I ate it. And for the first time, I didn't have any gas, I didn't have any bloating. An hour later, I felt warmth in my hand. I had lymph cancer, I had bone cancer, tumors in my liver and my lung. I was very anemic. So the diet seems to do something. It really works. It's amazing what it can do. I put on 15 pounds in the first 2 weeks. My body was just craving some nutrition. And I've continued to do very well. And much after, I was very depressed as a child, and I don't experience that anymore. And it's just one of the many different things that have happened to me. Once basically my liver, I couldn't even digest fats and proteins properly when they were cooked. And when I had them in a raw form, I had no trouble digesting them. As a matter of fact, it was very simple. And it's been pretty miraculous to me to watch the quick turnaround. I've been on the diet now about 15 months, started November of 1999. And I feel very fortunate to have found it. Thank you.
I guess if you asked any of my friends, they would all say that I was
always really healthy, pretty much no fat, no dairy. I was really thin when I got pregnant, and I hardly, ate any fats. And I have no idea if that has anything to do with her Crohn's or not. There's no Crohn's in my family or my ex's family. But, to see what this kid went through, she started with stomach ache. She started getting inflammation in her knee. No one really thought anything. And then we went to Mexico, and that's typically where, if you do have a weak spot for Crohn's, you pick up Turista and you come back and you vomit or you have diarrhea and you feel, your stomach's a mess. So this kid went from like 105 to like 90, and I'm calling the doctors, and they're like rheumatology. They had no clue. So I got her into Children's Hospital. For 10 days, they have her on an IV. Nobody really knows what's going on with her. And one doctor who was really young walked in and in a cocky way just looks at her and he goes, "Oh, she's got Crohn's." And I'm just sitting there like, it was horrible. But, in retrospect, at least he knew. Whereas everyone else was dancing around, didn't want to commit, could have been rheumatoid arthritis, like childhood arthritis. They had to do upper and lower GI and do biopsies. And I mean, the thing is it was such a long, painstaking thing. She's suffering, she's in pain, and at the end of it all, they throw her on massive amounts of drugs. And I looked to the doctor and his right hand, who basically is a nurse that I'm in contact with the majority of the time after that, and I say, "Well, what is she going to eat?" And they said, "Oh, she can eat whatever she wants. She can eat anything." And I just looked, and and I knew from how hard I'd been trying to be healthy all my life and not doing it probably properly anyway, I couldn't believe that. And they knew I wanted to hear something, and they said, "Well, maybe no soda or very little soda, and stay away from fried foods." And I was baffled. I was dumbfounded. I already wanted to hate them. I was like, and they were the sweetest people. I mean, the doctor's name was Danny Thomas, and his partner was Frank Sinatra. Okay, they were very, very nice people, and like senior gastroenterologists. And all I could think to myself was, what is this kid's life going to be like? And so, after that, I started looking around, and Erica introduced me to the book. And the odd thing is my background is European as well, and I grew up always being attracted to oysters, steak tartare, sashimi. That was the food that I wanted. But the thing that I was really missing was the dairy. And that's how I started. I started doing the shakes. And I think the biggest thing for me, since I really didn't have any big health problems, was that my emotional stability kind of changed, where I was edgy, and if people said something wrong to me, I would always get defensive. And I can't tell you how just by having fat in your system, it just totally mellows you out. So, and you can even ask my daughter, she likes it a lot better too. So, it was really hard to convince her dad that this was going to be an option, and that, God, the best thing would be to throw all the drugs away today and have her eat all this raw meat, and of course that was not going to happen. So she continued with the drugs, and we did it kind of, half, maybe 60% of the time. Then we went to Paris for Christmas for 2 weeks and ate chocolate and coffee and all this food, and all of her symptoms started to come up. And I'm sorry, before that, she had some symptoms, and we had switched to another doctor who was some big guy at Cedars, and he said, "I'm going to get her off prednisone." So I'm like, great, but he keeps kicking up this other drug, Imuran, to like 200 milligrams, and it's really hard. But right before we went on the trip, her knee got really swollen, and I went in to see him. He's a young guy trained by Danny Thomas, but he's surpassed him now. And I said, okay, well, her knee's swollen. We're going on this 13-hour trip. What do? I know they say symptoms pop up when you go on a pressurized plane. And he said, the deer in the headlights, look, you could just see. And she was down to 5 milligrams of prednisone a day. And he said, I want you to give her 40 milligrams a day. And it was like somebody kicked me in the stomach. I just thought, And I could see he was shaken up too. So, you know, I think I went to 30 for a week, 25, and then dropped her as fast as I could. And the day that we got back, we went to see Ajanas. I think it was January 5th. And he looked at her and, you know, it was pretty scary to hear what it looked like to him. So immediately, I think that was January 6th, and we've been on it. She's been on it 100% since then. And I mean, the change in her is amazing. And since she dropped, you know, we felt comfortable enough to get rid of the drugs, everything has changed. So I can't tell you how amazing it's been for us. And, you know, if anybody has any questions, please ask me. Thanks.
Okay. I've been on Ajanas's diet now for 3 years and a few months. I met him at the place called Mogan David. It's a temple, it's a singles group. It was 9 people. I was one of the 9 people that happened to buy his book. They sold it to me for $25. So I just want to brief in that I was, before the diet, I was in my 40s. I had severe pain in my neck. It was diagnosed as arthritis, that the bones was rubbing against each other. So I didn't know what to do for at the time. I was just, I didn't take the doctor's medicine. You know, he wanted to give me medicine. So I said I just did some exercising. That didn't help. So, and then as well as I had that was 5 years before when I had the surgery, where part of my ovary was removed. And as well as I couldn't talk very well. I couldn't form the thoughts. You know, the thoughts would form, but I couldn't speak at the thoughts. You know, I would be, you know, my voice would, I couldn't form the words, and if I wanted to communicate with somebody, now it's gradually picking up, and I'm able to communicate better. And last time I saw him in September, he said all new tissue was coming in for where I had my surgery. That was in 1995. Since I've been out of the diet, it's been 3 years. I've been also using glandular tissues, the raw glands from the buffalo. I've been doing that, and since that, I've noticed also my dark circles under my eyes have gotten less. My vertical veins is fading away, and my hair is getting into a dark, it's turning black, almost black, it's getting black instead of gray. I would get to near white by now. It's showing you what vitamins and minerals and nutrients are in the raw meats and such. And I'm just learning continuously from Ajanas, and I'm also grateful for what I've learned from him. Thank you.
My health was pretty good as a kid, except I was always hyperactive and had a lot of. I had probably pneumonia 4 or 5 times as a child. In 1991, I started getting chronic fatigue and food allergies, and by 1994,
밀어줘는 내가
real
이기지.
bad, and the food allergies were to the extent that my friends didn't
앉아나?
go out and eat
최원생.
with me because I'd have to ask the waitress, is there onion powder in this? Is there garlic powder? Is there black pepper? Is there
몇 시에
onion?
되지?
I mean, it just went on and on. I mean, I had a whole list of things I had to ask them if it
내
was in the
생각은
food
하고
because I'd
자야
have
할
bad
텐데.
reactions. I'd either get stomach
하면서
cramps or my eyes would get bloodshot. Or actually, some of
자면서
the
내
foods,
생각을
my
해야 돼.
allergic reaction was I'd get very angry. So I had tried many different things. I went to see some of the best homeopathics, herbalists, energy healers, and you know, all of it seemed to take me an increment higher. But when I came to the diet, I weighed 134 pounds and I'm about 6 feet tall. And at that time, I was I had hypertension, and the chronic fatigue was still kind of bad. My hair was falling out along the sides of my forehead. What else? I had insomnia. I had deep lines in my face. And
I know him 5 years ago, and he was kind of skinny and nervous.
Skinny and nervous. There you go. So when I heard about the diet at a vegetarian potluck. I met a woman. Everybody was going around the table, you talk about what diet they're on. There were vegans and vegetarians and Chinese diet and this and that. And this woman looks around the table and kind of whispers to me, "I eat raw meat." And half of me was disgusted and the other half was fascinated. So she referred me to Augenis, and I went to his place to buy his book when it was in manuscript form. And I kept asking him, "You mean eat raw meat?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "You mean just go to the store and get a steak and put it in your mouth and eat it?" He's like, "Yes." So I drove to Mrs. Gooch's that night on Sentinella, bought a New York steak, took it home, cut it up, ate it. I had the deepest sleep I'd had in years. When I woke up in the morning at 6 a.m., I went and grabbed the rest of the steak, shoved it in my mouth and ate it. And that was the first day I didn't get dizzy spells in a couple of years. So for about 6 weeks, I experimented. Well, maybe it was mind over matter, so I'd have 1 or 2 meals that I'd eat raw meat, and then I'd go back to cooked. And after 6 weeks, I said, "No more cooked meat," because there's so much of a difference in the way I felt. So after about 6 weeks, I started eating the diet, and then I was allergic to dairy, so I started drinking raw goat's milk, which was available at the time. And after about a year of drinking raw goat's milk, I could drink cow's milk, and it's been totally different. My family is blown away. My mother's a nurse. My sister's a nurse. My aunt worked for OSHA for 20 years. They all freaked. My sister one night wanted to take me to a psychiatrist. Seriously. So after about 3 months, they saw my disposition change, my temper go away, my hypertension go away, and color come back into my face. And I had cold hands and feet all the time, and my cold hands and feet went away after about 1 week of eating raw beef, and never came back. And so it's been almost 6 years now, and all my symptoms are pretty much gone. After about the second year on the diet, I started getting lots of chest colds, but I never got pneumonia, and I haven't had a chest cold now in years. And I believe that the chest colds were my body, with all the raw fats and raw eggs expelling toxins. What else? My weight's gone from 134 to 185 to 155 to 170, and now I'm at about 165. I've gotten sick twice, I think. Once, I'm pretty sure that it was toxicity coming out of my body. Adrenaline. I had a very high adrenaline flow, which gave me the deep lines in my face and gave me the hypertension and made me very irritable and temperamental. And what else? Well, yeah, as a matter of fact, in terms of my career, it's gone much better also. I have much more energy. My mental focus is very strong, and I think that because I'm much healthier when I'm in business meetings, I'm very present and can read people, and that's another thing. I've become much more intuitive on the diet too, in terms of what foods I need to eat to stay healthy. And for a while, I became kind of psychic. I could look at people and see their health problems. So I think that's it now. We'll move into the next section.
I wanted to mention that when I first started eating this diet, I weighed about 125 pounds. And I now weigh a shocking 152 pounds. And I'm surprised because I really haven't gained any inches. I mean, I do look fuller, but it's just the density from the raw fat. I love the raw dairy. I do a lot of the raw milk throughout the day whenever I feel like it. My favorite thing is what Augenis calls a lubricating formula, which is lemon juice and raw butter blended with a couple of raw eggs and some raw honey. And to me, it tastes like lemon meringue. And I find that's the easiest way for me to consume a lot of the heavy fat, like from the butter. Occasionally, I do whipped cream with strawberries, organic. And as far as meat goes, I love raw oysters and raw fish. Raw chicken, I really love the raw chicken. And I probably need to eat more of the red meat. I enjoy it also, but I just find it easier to marinate and flavor the fish and the chicken. I do a lot of the raw cheese. I do the green juice. anywhere from 3 to 4 to 5 times a day, which is a parsley celery juice. And I don't know, sometimes, you know, I do like tomatoes and green peppers and different things, but mostly I'm just doing meat and dairy. And,
yeah. Well, where do you get the raw butter?
We're going to talk about sources for all those foods. And my friends were helping me get some raw milk, which was really great for me. I was craving ice cream all the time, and I guess I just, you know, I was needing the sugar and the calcium I wasn't getting, and the protein. So when I started drinking the raw milk, all of a sudden that craving just totally went away. So that was really great. And so I was just kind of haphazardly trying to follow it, and I felt like I needed a program. So I went and had a consultation with Ajnas, and I really learned a lot there. And he gave me a program which I have not yet been able to follow completely. I'm supposed to have vegetable juice, raw meat, and eggs, kind of in a cycle throughout the day every time I get my food to eat. I work full time, plus I have rehearsals several nights a week for other things that I'm doing, and I'm trying to study some other things, and I have a very active social life. I get through about 2 glasses of vegetable juice a day right now, so I'm trying to work up to the recommendations, but you know, I'm experimenting and having a hard time with it a little bit, but overall, I think I'm eating like probably 95% what I'm supposed to be. So I'm supposed to have four glasses of vegetable juice a day, and I have 2, and I'm supposed to have probably maybe up to like a pound of meat a day. I probably have a quarter pound. I try, you know, and I eat for snacks. I'll eat like the raw cheese is really delicious. There's this really great raw honey that you can put on all kinds of things. Raw grilled yogurt. I really love all the dairy. I put the honey on yogurt, cheese. Put it on meat. I put it in the vegetable juice to make it sweeter and preserve it. Shakes, smoothies, by itself. If you have a craving for sweet. Sometimes I'll have plain starches. It's not compliant with the diet, but if I'm really feeling like I'm going to eat something that's going to be bad for me, it's like a less evil. I'll have like some plain rice or something, and maybe put milk and honey and have like a rice pudding. So you didn't hear that, but you know, a lot of us do that. I think some people, previously we were eating plain white bread, so you weren't eating your butter with that, but that's not really part of it anymore either. Fruit. I'm eating more fruit than what was recommended, but I kind of feel like I need it right now. So, like what Dan was saying about instinct, I'm just trying to learn more about. I'm trying to not eat out of habit anymore, because that's my big thing. I think is social pressures. People are always bringing in junk at work. I work in an office where it's like comfort food central. We have an entire cube full of junk food, and people always bring stuff in, and when it's going to have a lunch, it's somebody's bringing in hot dogs and chili, and everybody's going to go out and, you know, have this big, I don't know, junk food bonanza. And I was doing it too. I was actually the one having everybody go out every week, although I would try and go to healthy places, what I knew to be healthy before, you know, growing up with parents who were to try to re-diet and knew a lot about health, although not this particular regime. So it's hard. It was really hard around the holidays. I gained weight because I was starting to lose weight when I started on the diet, and then I was eating the raw food, and then in addition I was eating at holiday parties some of the foods, and I really gained some weight, and so now I'm trying to lose that again, and eating the raw meat actually helps you lose weight by itself. I don't gain weight with the raw fat, and I gain weight really easily, so that's a really great revelation for me. I don't know, so can you kind of understand how hard it is, because I think that probably a lot of people have that situation at work, and that's one reason why we wanted to come here today, I think, and talk about it. But I'm starting to not want to have the things that are make me feel bad anymore. I think if I'm really if I really want to feel healthy, I don't want those things anymore. If I'm feeling stressed, I have to look inside myself.
So did it take you a while before you could tell that the old way of eating you didn't feel as good? Like when you started eating raw foods and you started eating cooked foods, did you notice a difference right away?
Yeah, you can tell immediately. One thing I think is less mucus production. Like all of a sudden, my sort of daily bodily production of mucus went to like 0 when I would have kind of a lot, actually. Like coughing and other things that women have. So that's one thing. Feeling lethargic kind of after you eat, like while you're trying to digest, I find has lessened a lot. I get full a lot quicker because I would overeat. When I eat cooked food, I overeat. I even still do now. If I go and eat something cooked, I eat too much because I'm not getting full as easily. Sleeping better. I guess since I wasn't like really ill, those are like probably the basic things that I found for myself just on a regular day-to-day basis. Sometimes I need more sleep because I'm not taking these vitamin supplements that I used to that kind of like overamp my system, and my body's trying to kind of repair itself, and then I go through other phases where I just feel like steady flow of energy all day.
Every week or so, and every time I'd eat a steak, I'd get really bad body odor. But now, it seemed like, I don't know what it was, the uric acid or whatever that...
I was eating that buffalo glandular meat and I smelled like beef. Not anymore, it went away.
Okay, yeah, well, so, then I notice it whenever I'm eating like raw beef like every other day, and I do not get that body odor that I did with the cooked meat. So I guess the cooked meat, when you cook it, it does something bad to it, I think. What I'm trying to say. And what else? I'm so happy not to have to be taking supplements. I used to have every different practitioner that I would see would always give me a whole new set of stuff to take, and it was just a pain in the ass. And I would always have great hopes that it would enhance my well-being somehow, but all these things really didn't do anything positive that I can see in retrospect. And so I'm so happy to be free of that. I had a consciousness around not eating salt from working with Dr. Beeler in the past, and so I pretty much wasn't. I think when I first got on this diet, I was having a lot of that real salt stuff, and I don't have any salt now, and I feel so weird if I do have some salt. Like if I go and have sushi, but then I have some miso soup or something, it just wigs me out. So I can feel I would say that indeed you do become kind of sensitized when you're on this system. What else can I tell you? So I'm eating about a pound of meat a day. I'm eating 6 or 7 or 8 raw eggs a day, mixed in with raw cream and a whole orange and some raw honey, and it tastes like heaven. It's like Orange Julius.
Have this big, junk food bonanza, and I was doing it too. I was easily sleeping better. I guess since I wasn't like really ill, those are like probably the basic things that I found for myself just on a regular day-to-day basis. Sometimes I need more sleep because I'm not taking these vitamin supplements that I used to that would kind of like overamp my system, and my body's trying to kind of repair itself, and then I go through other phases where I just feel like steady flow of energy all day.
Every week or so, and every time I'd eat a steak, I'd get really bad body odor. But now, it seemed like, I don't know what it was, the uric acid or whatever that...
I was eating that buffalo glandular meat and I smelled like beef. Not anymore, it went away.
Okay, yeah, well, so, then I notice it whenever I'm eating like raw beef like every other day, and I do not get that body odor that I did with the cooked meat. So I guess the cooked meat, when you cook it, it does something bad to it, I think. What I'm trying to say. And what else? I'm so happy not to have to be taking supplements. I used to have the whole, I mean, every different practitioner that I would see would always give me a whole new set of stuff to take, and it was just a pain in the ass. And I would always have great hopes that it would enhance my well-being somehow, but all of these things really didn't do anything positive that I can see in retrospect. And so I'm so happy to be free of that. I had a consciousness around not eating salt from working with Dr. Beeler in the past, and so I pretty much wasn't. I think when I first got on this diet, I was having a lot of that real salt stuff, and I don't have any salt now, and I feel so weird if I do have some salt. Like if I go and have sushi, but then I have some miso soup or something, it just wigs me out. So I can feel I would say that indeed you do become kind of sensitized when you're on this system. What else can I tell you? So I'm eating about a pound of meat a day. I'm eating 6 or 7 or 8 raw eggs a day, mixed in with raw cream and a whole orange and some raw honey, and it just tastes like heaven. It's like orange Julius's or something. And so there's absolutely no sense of deprivation on this diet, whereas with other programs that I was into, it was like there's always this yearning, craving, like feeling deprived, not happy about it somehow. I remember seeing a psychic nutritionist person who many of us might have heard of. I won't mention her name, but she had told me, "You're a sugar addict. You're a sugar addict, and you can't even have fruit." And now I can have raw honey all day long, and it's just so fulfilling and settling and kind of calming, and just not having that deprived feeling. And what else? Let me think now. Lunch. So I'm just having raw chicken, fish, or beef for lunch, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, basically. And
what percentage do you call the diet?
I'm 95-98% on it. There's no reason not to. I don't have a feeling like there's anything I'm missing. So why do something that would make me feel less good? I guess that's the thing. And yeah.
I'm just wondering, do you balance when you eat though? Like do you balance like your raw meat with like vegetables and fruits, or do you just
on this program, the balancing would be in that you would have vegetable juice before your meat meal, like a half hour before, and then maybe 45 minutes to an hour.
Feeling lethargic, I overeat, I sleep because I'm not.
But now, it just seemed like, I don't know what it was, the uric acid or whatever that.
I was eating that buffalo glandular meat and I smelled like beef. Not anymore, it went away.
Okay, yeah. Well, so, then I notice it whenever I'm eating like raw beef like every other day, and I do not get that body odor that I did with the cooked meat. So I guess the cooked meat, when you cook it, it does something bad to it, I think. What I'm trying to say. And, what else? I'm so happy not to have to be taking supplements. I used to have every different practitioner that I would see would always give me a whole new set of stuff to take, and it was just a pain in the ass. And I would always have great hopes that it would enhance my well-being somehow, but all these things really didn't do anything positive that I could see in retrospect. And so I'm so happy to be free of that. I had a consciousness around not eating salt from working with Dr. Beeler in the past, and so I pretty much wasn't. I think when I first got on this diet, I was having a lot of that real salt stuff, and I don't have any salt now, and I feel so weird if I do have some salt. Like if I go to have sushi, but then I have some miso soup or something, it just wigs me out. So I can feel I would say that indeed you do become kind of sensitized when you're on this system. What else can I tell you? So I'm eating about a pound of meat a day. I'm eating 6 or 7 or 8 raw eggs a day, mixed in with raw cream and a whole orange and some raw honey, and it just tastes like heaven. It's like orange Julius's or something. And so there's absolutely no sense of deprivation on this diet, whereas with other programs that I was into, it was like there's always this yearning, craving, like feeling deprived, not happy about it somehow. I remember seeing a psychic nutritionist person who many of us might have heard of. I won't mention her name, but she had told me, "You're a sugar addict. You're a sugar addict, and you can't even have fruit." Now I can have raw honey all day long, and it's just so fulfilling and settling and kind of calming, and just not having that deprived feeling. And what else can let me think now? Lunch. So I'm just having raw chicken, fish, or meat for lunch, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, basically. And I'm 95-98% on it. There's no reason not to. I don't have a feeling like there's anything I'm missing. So why do something that would make me feel less good? I guess that's the thing. And yeah.
I just wondering, do you balance when you eat though? Like, do you balance like your raw meat with like vegetables and fruits, or do you just
on this program, the balancing would be in that you would have vegetable juice before your meat meal, like a half hour before, and then maybe 45 minutes to an hour afterwards. And that's balancing. You're creating what is it, autogenous? An alkaline environment to digest the meat.
The juice.
The juice is creating, let's say that together. What is it? The juice creates more alkalinity, which enables you to digest the beef, the protein, right? So that's how it works.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to eat the meat at the same time that you're drinking the juice, because the meat doesn't want it out.
But lots of meat anytime you want, almost. Juice, right?
Yeah, you just don't want to have to right at the
eat as much as you can.
And also, though, interesting to note that you're not having salads. Right, everybody? We're not having very few salads. And I guess the idea is that the juices give you the nutrition and the vitamins and the minerals from the vegetables, but the cellulose is superfluous somehow. What is the idea that it's a little bit taxing on? It's hard to digest.
I remember I was saying the roughage in all the raw salads takes away from your stomach's ability to digest the roughage of the raw meat. So you're cutting down the amount of work that your stomach needs to do by saving it for the raw meat.
And I intuitively have always kind of been in that place, because I still, to this day, I can't handle a lot of salads. It's just like, I can feel how it's kind of rough on the roughage is rough on me, you might say. So beyond, yes, sir.
Do you take things straight out of the fridge, or do you let them cool off for a while?
We let them warm up. Is the idea. The milk, the meat, it's always going to digest better if it's warm or if it's room temperature. And when it's cold, it's more taxing on the system. Somehow, yes.
But what do you do for? And then do you have? Does it make it hard to lose it? Fiber?
Not at all. Not at all.
Digest. Sometimes it's like 1 hour later, it's all digested.
Like, everyone pulls out their, like, chocolate cake or whatever, and I don't know, I just watch them eating it, and I, like, crave it so bad, and so, like, I'll wake up in the morning, my school starts at 8, so I have to, like, get up early to drink the juice and stuff, and I'll drink it, like, I'll try to do it half an hour before, sometimes it's, like, 20 minutes, but, no, I'm not. And so then I usually eat the red, like, raw meat, and once in a while I'll have ground and fish, and I'm really, like, not that great with the chicken. It just tastes kind of weird to me. And so I've been really on, like, the red meat and stuff, and then at school, I haven't tried I bring meat to school, so I bring 2 shakes and or smoothies and 1 green juice, and I'll have like the green juice and nutrition and 2 smoothies at lunch or something, or I'll switch it around and stuff. And then I'll come home and have another shake, and then towards like the time I go to bed, that's when I'll have my drink and meat. But like when I first started the diet, I was like I really like thought it was fine. I'd be okay doing this. And now that I've been doing it for not even like 2 or 3 months, I've just been like, oh my gosh, craving all this food. But the guy that lives in our back house, he's a chef, and like he's been making like whipped cream with the stuff, and it was like I couldn't believe that it was like good for me, because it was like so like good and stuff. And so I'm gonna try and make like this barbecue sauce and like an island sauce and all this stuff. And one time my mom made this strawberry like cream thing to put on my meat, and I was like, no, not strawberry, cherry tomato. And I don't know, I just kind of was like, whoa, but I don't know. So I'm still like getting on 100%, but I'm pretty much on the
Do your classmates know that you're on this diet?
Yeah, they do, and like at lunch, if I will sneak a chip, they'll be like, no, you're gonna get sick, and then they'll be like, oh my gosh, no, you're gonna die, you're gonna get sick. I'm like, oh. So my classmates know, and they're always like on top of me and stuff. So I'm just like, okay, back off. That's all.
I was just going to say one more thing about eating out, and I think that most of us on this diet going to, when we eat out, we're pretty much going to sushi bars a lot of the time, which I never minded. I mean, I always loved sushi anyway, and
Just order sashimi.
You're eating a lot of food.
Yes, I was slamming groceries. And it was, I was eating anywhere from a pound to 2 pounds of raw meat a day. I'd have 2 raw meat meals a day. I was having a 1/4 pound to a 1/2 pound of butter, up to a quart of milk, raw milk. I was eating 6 meals a day. It was just, it was incredible. That's where a lot of the weight gain took place. And the juice, of course, and all the other things that everyone has mentioned. What I wanted to talk about, though, is doing this